Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome in on this Wednesday evening,
Hump day.
hump day. I am Steve. I got not so mobile Dave in here today. What's going on, my friend? How's it going? How's it hanging?
Not so much. Decided, give a little scenery change, so you
Uh,
wouldn't just, be in the front seat of my car all the time, Had to keep things a little,
and
sp-
then you become a celebrity. People stop you and they want to talk to you. It's you know just sign
exactly.
autographs.
Exactly. It can't have that happening here, especially in Miami. The way people drive, it's just going to cause a whole chaos on the
I don't have that
Palmetto
kind
or
of
the
liability.
Turnpike.
I don't, we're a small operation, uh, so you
Still,
know,
just
like
for
the
now.
Joker would say, yeah, for sure. All right, so Timmy will be along here in a few moments, but we're gonna go ahead and get started here. We're gonna talk about something that's been going on in the NBA and really one team in particular. And like I
The
said
Heat.
right before, yeah. They made news yesterday for a good reason. They took care of business against the Warriors, but you gotta love that Steph behind the back Showtime. Come on, gotta give it up to that. Come on,
Man, he's just special.
he is. But all right, so let's get to the meat and potatoes of this team that is just making my borough look bad. Brooklyn, the Nets. So they fire Steve Nash, scapegoat. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. And they got the whole Nets thing going, the whole Kyrie thing going on with his anti-Semitic tweets with the movie. And there's Timmy. And now they're Timmy.
What's
Celtics
up, guys?
are
Oh,
down
with
by
the
one.
Celtics, really? Come on now.
They're last I saw they were up in Cleveland. They were up by six or
Eastern
No,
Conference
they're,
champions,
they're
baby.
down by one right now. Let's
East,
down
go,
by one.
Donovan Mitchell, Spider.
Eastern
I've
Conference champions, baby.
is he okay? He turned his ankle last when I was watching before.
Well, I haven't been
Ah,
watching the game, so
Okay, well
I was
he turned his
watching
ankle.
series.
All right. Well, I have no desire to watch that right now. But all right, so getting back to the Nets, which are the talk of the NBA for all the wrong reasons, and then now they're bringing in, or potentially they're working on this deal, uh, to bring in a coach that was suspended by the Boston Celtics for a year because of his actions. Uh, so just a few things here. The Nets employees, I guess, need to kind of worry about the next head coach who comes in. I'm talking about the female employees. If that does come through. Number two, my thought is Steve Nash is thrilled that he's no longer the head coach of the Nets. That's my thought on that because it's a not like that's a clown show, bro. That is a compared to what he played in. That's a clown. There's a cluster clown show or whatever negative remarks you have on that. And then the biggest part of it all, Kyrie retweeting a movie, anti-Semitic, all the way around. Even went into say that the Jewish community planned the Holocaust. It didn't really happen, but they made it up so that the Jews could be made to feel sorry for, so they can take over the world. That's from that movie, and you got a guy who believe like, and then the next day, in the presser, he said, I'm not gonna. What did he say? I'm not gonna back down from my beliefs or something like that. Which mean, and then he said that he watched it and he read the book. But then in a couple of minutes, I want to get your take on this, Dave, and then I'll read what happened and what Kyrie is you know the quote that's being put out by Kyrie and the Nets. But it's just like he said he won't back down from his beliefs, and now today he's kind of saying I'm still learning. So if you're still learning, don't put out this nonsense to I don't know how many millions of followers he has in a time where this country, like, is always on the ready to hate. It's this person's Yay and Kyrie. I'm in. And then I don't know what Stephen A. said this morning. I missed it, but I don't even know if he addressed it. But when Ye said who was it? It was Stephen A. and Kyrie were the only real ones left. And so now Stephen A. Smith is is he going to be brought into this? Like, I'm sure Stephen A. Smith's like, hell no, leave me the hell out of this.
Yeah.
But Dave, your thoughts on this and the fact that it's what Shaq said. He hates the fact that you got to stop talking about the games and worry about what this idiot has to say. Direct quote from Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, I absolutely agree. And it also goes to I think it was what the other game, the court side. They had the people with
Yeah,
the was it anti-Semitism? Like some
anti-Semitic. Yeah,
anti-Semitic. I think that's what it was on the shirt.
yeah.
I was like, one, I was like, how do you just let these people into the arena? I guess because you're courtside. But two is like, what makes you think that that's okay to wear? And it's just people who I feel like just don't know history and the ones that are bound to repeat it, which I think it's why it's so important to get
I
out
mean,
like everything that's going on here. And I think one person that put it like that I heard him talk a little bit about it that they kind of put it really well was Andrew Schultz, and he was talking like how black people have like their stereotypes and how they kind of have to like think about like certain things like the one that he used was an example of a gentleman that was there with him on the podcast was he wears glasses so he seems like a little bit more like tamed and things like that. And then black people are hearing about like the Jews stereotypes like, oh, they're rich, they own banks, they're this and this and with the money, and that they're like,
say that
oh,
some of the billionaires,
exactly.
like
And then
Ye says that, I'm a billionaire.
exactly. And so then how like some black people can like see it as, oh, I wish we had those stereotypes. And then how the Jews would take it is like, no, like why, like, no, it shouldn't be that way. Like not everyone's like that. And this is exactly like what happened in the past, how, with the Holocaust, how the Jews were basically, you know, targeted because of that, like because of different little things like that,
Yeah.
the way they look, like how they manage business and things like that. And it's just wild to me that nowadays some people still don't understand that. And for Kyrie, someone who's such a big public figure, to just go ahead and post this and then still defend it. Up until today, he still defended his comments. He didn't seem apologetic about anything that he said. I
No.
saw the presser and the media was asking him, and he just was like, "Oh, let's go to the next question. No, let's go to the next question." Like
And then he stopped
he,
showing up. Then he
yeah,
stopped showing up to the
and it's like
pressers.
you put yourself in that role. Like you don't want to be this guy, but look at what you're doing. Like do your research. Like before you make an outrageous statement or just put anything out there like that, like do some research or just maybe have a guy that you can like, talk to, be like, hey, not a yes man, obviously. Someone like, hey, what do you think if I do this? Or like if I post this up or I say my opinion on this, like, I don't know. I feel like nowadays these guys should have something like that because a lot of them aren't
Yeah.
thinking and they look like complete and utter idiots, to put it
Look
lightly.
at, I mean, who's on ESPN now? I mean, Amari Stoudemire. That's a maybe Kyrie just doesn't want to go and say, hey, you think it's okay, because maybe he
Because
thinks
he
the
thinks
Earth
he
is
knows
flat and all this
better.
stuff. He thinks he knows better. But Amari Stoudemire, he's you've seen him going back and forth to Jerusalem and all this stuff. And when maybe that's a good guy for somebody like Kyrie to reach out and say, hey, am I going to stick my foot in my mouth by doing this?
It's
But
true.
then you double down. All right, so then tonight, now the Nets. It's announced that the Nets and Kyrie are each going to donate $500,000 towards causes and organizations that work to eradicate hate and intolerance in our communities. And then this was Kyrie's quote. Um, I this is it annoys the shit out of me because it's just like don't treat us as we're all stupid and insult our intelligence. He says, I oppose all forms of hatred and oppression and stand strong with communities that are marginalized and impacted every day. I'm aware of the negative impact of my post towards the Jewish community and I take responsibility. How much longer later do you have to take responsibility? I do not believe everything said in the documentary was true or reflects my morals and principles. I'm a human being learning from all walks of life. That's not the stage to learn on, guys. You don't put stuff out onto. Again, I don't know how many millions of people follow him on all of his social media. You don't. That's not where you learn by putting out those ideas. And then he says, I'm a human being, learning from all walks of life. I intend to do so with an open mind and a willingness to listen. So, from my family and I, your family didn't do this. We meant no harm to any one group, race, or religion of people and wish to only be a beacon of truth and light. Timmy, this is a guy who said the earth is flat. This is a guy who's now saying, tweeting stuff out that stop it, Dave. Uh, um,
You're not a flat
that
earther, are you? If you're a flat earther, I'm leaving. You know you're not a flat earther. I can't take it.
I'm not a
we'll
flat
talk about it
earther,
later. No,
but
okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
Kyrie brings up some valid points sometimes.
No,
Yeah,
zero
we're
valid points.
just this
Zero.
giant coin, like in those the amusement park rides. We'll all be vomiting.
Like,
Every planet in the galaxy is round except for us. Makes total sense. But
Hey, Chris and Carlos joining in.
what's up,
Uh,
everybody? I can't stand stuff like this because these idiots. I mean, the simple fact is you're gonna be a Holocaust denier. Okay, where'd those 6 million people go? Where'd they go? You can't hide 6 million plus people.
aliens.
I guess so. I guess we shot them off into space. I guess back in the 40s. Such idiots. And then don't forget, it wasn't just Jews affected by that too. If you were conceived as gay, if you were a male dancer, done.
Yeah,
You were killed too just because you thought you might be gay. So it's not just the Jewish community who's affected by that shit. So this guy really got to keep his mouth. I would kick him out of the league. I got to be perfectly honest. What is he bringing to the league right now, other than
that's
controversy and stupidity?
that was something I think Charles Barkley said, and I agree with him. I think he should have been suspended because people get suspended for using a homophobic slur or just saying something bad. Like, why was he not suspended for this? Like,
And he's not
didn't
like
have to be a season.
he's not bringing the Nets a championship anytime soon. So what who cares? Let him just
this is
let the guy go. But he's just another moron running his mouth at this. I can't even deal with people like this. I said it's just so stupid.
I want to say to the people that laughed at me as a Knick fan uh, about not getting KD and not getting Kyrie a few years ago, and I just gotta say, who's getting the last laugh now? I mean, I just
Hey,
don't
I
like that he's bringing all this to Brooklyn, baby.
when he left too, when he left the Celtics too, it was oh my god, you guys totally fucked up. You're gonna regret it for
Oh,
the rest of it. Nope, nope, not really.
and Carlos here saying Kyrie keeps making mistakes due to his own ignorance. Yep, and yet he thinks he's smarter than everyone. Like even to say that I tweeted this out and I'm learning. Again, a quick Google search, a quick study, a quick take a course, do this, do that, learn about your stuff before you put it out there. Um, Jaime says not related, but kind of related. The Jewish black communities in New York City, specifically in Brooklyn, have had tense relationships. This shit really doesn't help. Yep. Um,
No, it doesn't. Because then
and
you
he
have
said,
people that like you have people who look up to Kyrie, like not just little kids, but other people like, oh man, what Kyrie's saying is true. Like they'll believe the flat earther thing or, his stance on COVID and they'll stand with him. Just the same thing with Kanye. And that's where the problem really, really stems from. Like, sure, Kyrie can go ahead and think that the earth is flat. But when you have such a big platform and you start preaching that and you have such a big following, that's where it gets bad. And when you have little kids that at the same time, a 5, 7-year-old, it doesn't really know history. They can't really do like their own research like we can, where they're just going to believe this and they're going to grow up
yeah,
believing that. And that is such a huge problem.
Kanye had racist KKK people believing a black man. Listening to a black man like that, like what? Some crazy.
I would have suspended him for the flat Earth thing. I was like, I would say,
um,
take a week off, do some research, and come on back. Let me know what you're really thinking, because I can't stand that level of stupidity. And not to bring up this touchy subject too. But stuff like this is what annoys me because you can believe what you want to believe. That's up to you. But you do have a responsibility as a public figure not to go out and spread your hatred and bullshit to everybody else. But like people who, again, I don't want to bring up 9/11, but it says because that's a touchy subject too. You believe what you want to believe. I don't care. That's up to you. Conspiracy, we did it, they did it. I don't care what you believe. But the people who say that there were no planes, that no
Mm.
planes hit the buildings. I
Yeah.
don't care what kind of planes they were or who was flying them, if they were remote controlled. I saw a fucking plane hit the building live. They were planes, idiots. Those are the kind of people who are like Kyrie Irving, who just they're
Yes.
complete nonsense morons, and that they should all be shot into space and put away for good. Idiots.
Yeah. It's tough, and then he's allowed to go out there and dodge the media. Just paying a fine. He's allowed to go out there and play in games. Suck in them. He had one of his worst games, definitely as a net, yesterday, as they lost to the Bulls. But that's besides the fact they're struggling on the court. They're obviously struggling off the court, and it's just it's a real sore eye for the league. This is a league that um and I welcome that the owner came in and condemned it. But okay, there's one thing about condemning it, but then there's also something else. Suspend him for 10 games, suspend him for whatever. I just made that up, but that number
Do
up. But
something. Fine
he
him.
should be
And
Something.
something's got to happen.
how fast would one of these Eastern European players be suspended if they came over, were a little ignorant to the country or our world, our history, and just said something about one of the black players? They'd be
Yeah,
suspended already. Right now, they'd be already suspended
They probably
indefinitely.
they probably wouldn't be on the team. They would
No,
cut him and release him. Just like, well, a perfect example of this is with the Heat. 2 years ago, I believe it was, 2 or 3, with Miles Leonard,
yeah,
that he made those anti-Semitic remarks. Not even in a game. No, he did it streaming over Twitch. What did the Heat do immediately? They sent him to, I think it was
where'd he get?
Portland or OKC, and then they released him
Yeah,
immediately. And the guy hasn't been seen in the NBA again.
I'm surprised Utah didn't want him. Yeah, so I mean, but that's it's unfortunate that that's the news that's coming out of the NBA. That and the Lakers won a game, but that's
And they
really been the
celebrated like they
news.
won the championship too.
Yeah, oh, it's the first win for the coach, but that outside of that, I mean, it just I and the Lakers moving Westbrook to the bench, that kind of thing. But this is the Heat's big win yesterday against the Warriors. The Warriors are 0-4 on the road. There are some little minor things, 10 games in or less, but this is completely overshadowing the whole thing. And then now on top of that, now they're talking about bringing in what's his name, Udoka,
Ime Udoka.
Udoka. Yes, I feel like just Stugotz right there. But bringing him, so now they're going to bring him from the Celtics. The Celtics just suspended him for his bad activity on that team, and now the Nets are going to bring him and do the due diligence. Like 5 minutes after Steve Nash was fired, that's when they said, "Oh, we're thinking about Udoka, and we've done our due diligence." So now the guy who was suspended for a year is only going to be suspended for 30 or 40 days or so. The Nets just continue to find ways to outdo themselves.
I don't know how that makes any sense. I get it. Like, I guess it wasn't against the Nets policy and stuff like that, but it was like back to back, like you just said. It was like I got one notification that was okay. Steve Nash got fired. I'm like, okay, or they parted ways mutually, whatever. And then
Mm-hmm.
right immediately was like, okay, Udoka might be the next coach, and I'm like, wait, how?
Yeah, right.
I was like, you can just, well, one, I didn't even know you could just, I guess because it's the team that suspended him, not the
Right.
NBA, that he could just, flip flop like that. I don't think that's okay, but
Well, I'm sure there's going to be some type of compensation going back to Boston, but still, I mean, what if you're a female employee for the Nets? What are you thinking right now?
I'm trying to get paid.
do it.
Set up, lady, set up.
And let's not forget, everybody, Calvin Ridley suspended for an entire year for playing on a phone app.
Yep.
Sports,
And,
baby.
and now he just got traded to the team that he bet
Bet
against.
against.
Uh, all right, let's transition really quick here into the NFL and talk about another bad situation, but might be getting better for our non-friends down there in DC. Uh, Dan Snyder, who has said, "I'm not going to sell, not going to sell, not going to sell." Now he's got his people on it. Bank of America is involved now to see how much he can get for it. What's he got to do? What's going to be done? Um, and as a Mets fan, I appreciated that because I just went through that. The Mets were not going to. Oh, I'm not going to sell, not going to sell. And then one day they were selling. It was like hallelujah. So I know what the Commanders are going through right now and their fans. And now, so this got announced this morning. Have you guys heard what they're doing now? That the government is investigating them for a whole bunch of different things that include not refunding deposits to fans for season tickets,
Ooh.
uh, not giving visiting teams get a portion of the attendance money. They have not been doing that either. So they're in breach of this, they're in breach of that. Snyder now announced this morning that he's intrigued about selling.
There's a coincidence, huh?
What a coinky dink,
Okay,
man.
I'm not selling. I'm not selling. You're under investigation. Maybe I'll sell.
But I thought he had all this dirt on all the owners and Roger Goodell. Like,
Listen,
This
I'm
is
a
the
little
government.
baffled
This is the
here.
government.
listen. I bet the
This is a
NFL
federal
owners-
investigation.
But can he take down the NFL like how he said? So shouldn't he be like, hey, Goodell, you want to get him off my back?
Dude, you're telling me
But
he doesn't
could
have his own
Dell say
skeletons?
that? Uh-huh.
He has his own skeletons. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure
But
Jerry Jones is like, dude. If you tell them about my strippers, I'm gonna tell them about your hookers. It's like oh wait, you're right. I forgot about that part.
nah, guys, we're good. But I don't know if Goodell could do anything now if it's at the FBI level and it's a federal
How
investigation.
did it get to the FBI level?
Uh,
Hmm.
well, maybe fans were saying, "Hey, they got my $4,000 deposit. They're not giving it back to me." Maybe all the Karens and the male versions went to the Better Business Bureau and
The
stuff.
male versions.
Hey, it could also be like Goodfellas. You know, that some guy had a sister who was a typist for the FBI and bitched about his season tickets. They went up the chain. Next thing you know, federal investigation. You
Boom.
don't know.
Or,
It
or like
happened.
what is it, the Monopoly McDonald's scam?
Yeah,
Oh
you
yeah.
never know.
Oh my God. We we were always all so close to winning, right?
Just needed that one. Damn boardwalk.
Damn the boardwalk. All right. All right. So this is not a big deal as it stands right now for us or anything going on here, but we'll see what happens. So keep an eye on it. This is where notice that the first few things that we talk about here is drama. Always before we started doing sports shows, whenever that was, you would see these guys doing shows on ESPN or Fox or whatever, saying, I really wish we could just cover the games and not have to deal. And that's what I'm starting to feel that now because there's a lot of good NFL games that happened last week, some not so good. But instead of talking about that, we're talking about things that are important. Timmy had a rough week with the picks last week.
I know nothing anymore. I know nothing. I'll admit it here and there. I know nothing this year. I should just stop picking, or everyone pick against me. Let me pick first, and you all pick against me.
But
All
I mean,
right.
imagine what was going on back then that we still don't know about, and it's because now everyone has a camera on their phone, everyone's recording something, and just it's all out there. You can't really hide anymore from things. Like if you can,
Right.
it's very hard.
Dude, imagine the amount of hookers and drugs at the NFL owners meeting. You got
Oh,
rich, you got billionaire, crusty old white dudes. You're telling me there's not a vast array of hookers and drugs there? Come on, give me a break. And you know someone whipped out a camera, a little those little snap cameras from back in the day, and started snapping a few pictures. So Dan Snyder, you got nothing, my friend.
that's
Nothing.
it. These people, man, it makes you think. You know, you get into to some money, and you're always going to go down a wrong path. It's all these guys, because that's all you hear
I,
about.
I'd like to try.
Yeah,
Give me the
just give me a shot.
give me the
Let
money.
me prove you
I'll
wrong, baby.
exactly. Let me be that one good one.
All right, let what's going on right now. Dave was watching. I have not watched one pitch of the World Series. I will admit this. It is 2-1 Philadelphia. Um, no, can't. What's the score of the game right now? Do we got any score right now?
1-0 Houston.
Let's go Astros.
Top of the fifth, bases loaded, 0
For who?
outs.
Oh, top. Okay, let's
Houston.
go. Oh, salami. Give me a salami, baby. Give me a salami. It's
They
paying
And
the
cheat.
ratings,
They
baby. Want the
Alex
ratings?
Bregman
cheated.
is at bat.
They cheated again, Steve.
What do you
Illegal
mean?
Oh,
bats. They're using illegal bats now. It
so
doesn't
I
stop
want to
with this
hear about
team.
this, but Houston just scored again. Waiting for
Yes,
see how many runs. 3-0.
yes.
Doesn't mean nothing. Philly's gonna score six in the bottom of the eighth.
No, absolutely not.
I
I
hope
hope
so.
Bryce Harper gets beamed by a pitch just on his nose, just shoom, and you see his
On
nose
his
go
nose.
flat like that. All right, so 2-1. This is kind of where I said that the 2-3-2 can get the favorite into a lot of trouble. So you split. Yeah, that's why you got to take care of business at home. So they split the series back in Houston, and then you go into a. You don't want to go into a Philadelphia, New York, those kind of crowds on the road. Even though Houston was like, oh, we've been to the road, we've been to Boston, we've been to New York. Forgot the last one that they mentioned, and we took care of business there. Um, but now that they took one in Houston, so now they're back in Philadelphia for 3 straight, and Phillies have an opportunity to close it out as the away, the underdog. So there is talk about maybe switching that up a little bit, but for baseball, you got to give more time for travel. But they'll work that out however they want to. But glad to hear that Houston's winning. I hope they tie it up here, take the lead, and close it out in Game 6, baby.
Yeah, the Phillies will. Don't worry.
Fucking
No,
cheaters.
all right. So
Illegal
yesterday,
bats, buzzers. Who knows what else they're doing? Those cheating.
Hey,
Sorry, what's
hey,
the bat? What are they doing with the bats? Is it like a Albert Pujols thing where because he was grandfathered with that BS
Yeah,
bat that
that's
they could
exactly
just
what
use
it
it?
is. Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Illegal bats. Any way to cheat, they're gonna cheat.
wait.
And
So
you
we're
got,
not. But are
and
we
just
calling
because
Albert Pujols a cheater?
just because the Phillies are
Absolutely.
in your division,
Well,
there's no reason to root for a pack of cheaters.
I cannot have the Phillies win the World Series. I can't do it. I can't have it. Brian Hopstocks will not like. No, I can't do it. I can't. Like, even if I
4-0.
start to talk, even if I start to talk myself into potentially saying, okay, it's really wrong to root for cheaters. I can't get it to the finish line. So,
Jaime, it's called an illegal bat. Illegal.
let's go Astros, Jaime.
You're
That's
saying
it.
that you're saying that's not cheating. Illegal bat. Illegal mean illegal.
But why? So why isn't it like a big deal though? Is it because they don't want to make it a big deal for Albert? Because if
Probably.
MLB makes a big, if baseball makes a big deal about it, there's going to be people that say, "Oh, well, Albert was the only one that lucky. Would he have hit? Would he have gotten anywhere close to 700?" That's going to be the talk. And
Think
baseball doesn't
about
do
it.
that right now.
Pujols up until this last season, what hadn't hit more than like 12, 13 home runs in like 4 years, and this year he magically in his last season knocks in 20 something. It's the bat and that he was getting softballs thrown to him every single game.
That's okay.
Just under the
It's
table
not
deals
okay.
are not a.
A-Rod didn't get that. A-Rod should have got that. A-Rod should have
No,
gotten
A-Rod's a
softballs every
douchebag.
single freaking play.
A-Rod's a
Why?
douchebag.
He was
He's-
juiced up.
Pujols,
He
you
was
know, I'm
cheating.
pretty sure Pujols is a little,
John-
Hey.
a little there.
John Kruk's last hit in the major leagues was he knew it was coming. It was a lob, so he can quit the game in the mid. He quit baseball in the middle of the game,
Yeah.
and the pitcher threw him a lame duck so he could hit the ball, and he walked off the field. That right there is the way to do it. Love it.
It's like I'll always believe that Bartolo Colon threw a meatball to what's his name on the Marlins when what's his name died
Yeah,
in the
I believe it
Oh,
too.
yeah,
D
he threw it right
Gordon.
there. Yeah, D Gordon. He doesn't hit any home runs. Bartolo threw it right down the middle. He didn't react. He just looked straight forward, and
It
Bartolo
was
would at least look.
his best friend on the team who doesn't hit home runs hit a
Yeah,
home run. Come
yeah.
on,
I
it's
mean that
fun.
story. It's a
It's a
I
good
mean, it
story.
was
yeah.
Even though the way he died was
And even as a Giants fan, guys,
not good.
Brett Favre laid down for Michael Strahan. Look, shit happens. Shit happens. Just gotta take it.
That's a conspiracy theory, Timmy.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I think he was gonna get it.
All right, you guys want to add anything on the World Series stuff here?
I have one thing. Well, two things. Now it's 5-0, top of the fifth.
Yes.
One out.
Who started? For the
Not
Phillies,
not Thor.
Nola. Nola.
Yeah, Nola.
Keep
Don't
That's
asking.
not
worry,
his
they-
name. Thor. His name is Noah Syndergaard, not Thor. What he thinks he's a badass? He's call himself
He is
Thor?
a bad. Just wait till next game. Just wait till next game.
Noah Syndergaard's gonna get the save in Game 7 for the Phillies
Oh.
win.
I
God.
love it.
Look at that's the most evil laugh. He laughed as soon as he said
I
it. Like
I just heard yours, Jaime's, Terzio's, all mine just snap. You all just snap
Keith.
right there.
So wait, something that I did, I had come up. I think it was on TikTok was that the Phillies. This is where I'm like, yeah, I hope it's not true. The last the last 3 times the Phillies have won the series, it's like our economy goes into kaputs.
Oh.
So
Well-
the first one was the Great Depression. The next one was the recession. Then the next one was the Great Recession. And then it's like, oh, if they win this time, then are we gonna,
Is that a
go
ploy
into
to
another-
just root for the whole country to root for the Astros, maybe?
When I saw it, I was like,
Houston
wait, do I
And
really want to
and
go
wasn't
through
there
that?
also there was also a connection there too? Like Game 3 was rained out of their last X amount of World Series, which happened in this one too on the Saturday night.
Yeah. So
Keep
So
Too
more
much
reason
free
to root for
time.
the Astros, guys. we
People
don't
have
want.
too much. Let's go depression.
let's- thank God, the Yankees won in '09.
All right. Okay, so yesterday against Lance McCullers was found tipping his pitches. I mean that side by side is really it was pretty revealing. Like on the curveball on the fastballs he was coming out of the glove. On the curveballs he was breaking balls he was staying in the glove. And how does like Justin Verlander or Dusty Baker, the manager, see that? Like that was it was like it's obvious. I mean, you're looking at it a day later, and I'm saying that it was obvious. It was obvious to the Phillies hitters, but not to anybody
To
in that
Bryce
Astros
Harper.
dugout. For sure. Like, did you see that one guy who put $100 bet on those 5 guys hitting home runs, and he
What?
hit it? He won
What?
$100,000.
In one game?
100. Yeah.
That's
He bet
ridiculous.
$100 that at least those 5 guys were going to hit home runs
In the
in
series,
yesterday's
you mean?
game.
In
In yesterday's game.
That's
Dude, that's-
wild to
And
even.
he won.
Is it the same guy who picked all the World Series winners for the next 10 years? That guy's from the future, then.
$100,000 he won.
I just
game
want one
changer.
of those. Just, give
Just
me
on
one
a
of those.
prayer too. It's like one of those 500 5,000 plus odds on the parlays. Man,
And it's not like he's been bad. He's been a good pitcher, and he
Yeah.
showed like he had his spurts, but he just gave up these home runs. But it's exactly what you said. Harper picked it up immediately, and he went and he told all the guys. Like when he rounded the base, he told Castellanos, and then he went back and told this other guy, and then from there was just I don't know why they didn't take out McCullers sooner.
and then
because,
you don't. I'm not one to tell future Hall of Famer how to do their job, but Dusty Baker doesn't. This is the World Series, goddamn it! Take that guy, take him out. Even
Especially
if
when
you
you
not,
No,
Even if
but
you don't realize that he's tipping. He's giving up 5 home runs. This is the World Series. It's not like, oh, we'll get him. No, tomorrow's Philadelphia too. The next game is in Philadelphia also. So what are you doing?
that's why. That's why I would have been like, yo, let's not risk it. We gotta play back to. We gotta play 3 games in Philadelphia. No, we can't
Jeez,
go down this bad.
unbelievable. Um, all right, so let's get into some football stuff. Here, I know we hit Dan Snyder a little bit, but let's get into the trade deadline in there,
A lot
and
of trade.
notably, what didn't happen for the Packers. Um,
This
uh,
team right here.
the, that team right there, they didn't have any expectations going this year, and I'm okay with them not giving up picks. But the Packers were, I mean, Aaron Rodgers came back, signed $50 million a year. He loses Devontae Adams, and the expectation is still there. Everybody's dropping passes, but you don't go out and get a wide receiver.
They still got a bunch of young guys. It's like you just got to give them some time. That's why I sent you guys that video of Joy Taylor. And normally I
Yeah,
don't disagree with her, but I actually did. Like when she was so for everyone out there that hasn't seen the clip, she was saying why we don't hold the Green Bay Packers to the same standard that we hold the Dallas Cowboys, and the same thing with Dak and Aaron Rodgers. And when she said it, I immediately thought you basically said why. Aaron Rodgers is a multiple time MVP. He's gone to the Super Bowl. He's won. Dak hasn't done that. The Cowboys haven't done that in decades now. So it's like you can't tell me you can hold the two the same when one is winning the division every year. They're actually in the playoffs, and the other one we don't know if they're gonna make the playoffs. They've won how many playoff games in the last, let's say, 20 years? Two, maybe.
right.
Like, come on, you
There,
can't compare
there's
the
a
two.
there's a difference there, and I thought you were going to take a different stance on that. But Timmy, you agree with Dave there?
The only thing I really agreed with in that clip was the fact that she said that Aaron Rodgers is taking $50 million. Whether he taking all the money. Again, love or hate Tom Brady, Chris Summers, I know you're out there. The guy took pay cuts every single year to get his team where they needed to be. And Aaron Rodgers is sitting there collecting his 50 million. Guess what, dude? It's your fault. They can't go out and get a wide receiver. Maybe the ownership's probably like, I'm not giving up my picks, my future, maybe my next quarterback for this, for some maybe 1 year wide receiver, so we can go out and go what 7-9, seven. Or they're not going anywhere this year.
Yeah.
I don't blame the Packers for not doing that, but yeah, guess what, Aaron? You're making $15 million this year in a sap calorie league. You're a moron. You're a
And,
moron.
and what receiver though were they really gonna trade for? Like Chase Claypool wasn't gonna be a game changer where he was gonna automatically come in there and start making the Packers win games.
I don't know. Maybe you get a Judy, and then an OBJ follows. Maybe they were thinking something along those lines, but no,
See,
it wasn't gonna happen.
with that, I don't even know what the hell Denver was thinking there. Yeah, all right, so Denver wins that game, uh, and I'll give Russell Wilson looked as good as he has looked all year, and so they win that game, and now you're thinking that they're gonna, they're gonna jump back in here and try to salvage this year. And then it was like, all right, so Bradley Chubb, as Carlos is bringing up down there, was either going to get traded or signed to a long term deal. And then they started talking about no, Judy is off the market. So now you're starting to think, oh, Denver's going to go for this. Then they trade Bradley Chubb to
The,
the Dolphins, which is a huge, massive pickup for them. But then they hold on to Judy. I, I don't know. And last I saw, they were asking for a number 2 and a 5.
And they get Chase Edmonds. So I don't. Their
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
their thought process is baffling.
yeah, they don't know who their running back is. Like I guess they don't trust Gordon or Murray. Like it just
Bring
I
back
don't.
No Sean Marino, man.
McGahee, baby.
McGahee, yes. All right. And then Carlos was talking about too is the driver of the Dolphin bus. Bradley Chubb makes us serious contenders, and then you
Well,
bring in you also got Jeff Wilson,
Jeff Wilson. That was
who
a nice
was
pickup.
he's a beast in San Francisco,
They basically
and
have the backfield that San Francisco had a couple
yeah,
of years ago.
yeah, so, yeah. And what is San Francisco? Obviously, not now that they brought in McCaffrey. San Francisco has been able to plug that running back slot with everybody. Uh, Coleman was in there. Jeff Wilson was in there. What's the running back now for the Dolphins? He was there.
Uh,
Um,
I don't know how to say his last name.
Mostert.
Mostert.
Um, and they made it work. So the talent was there. And the Dolphins are obviously a different team this year. They're being coached better. He's guy's weirdo, but he's coaching effectively on the field at least.
I'm still not
Um,
sold on him.
I'm not sold on him yet either, but it seems as though he's got the clubhouse. The clubhouse is firmly behind him. Um, and what did they talk about yesterday? The GM stuff also for the Dolphins. They basically turned the picks that they got for a quarterback who is no longer who's out now for the season, and with San Francisco, for who they turned that into Bradley Chubb. They turned it into the Cheetah, and finally they turned it into Jalen Waddle.
That's huge.
They like that's a magic act. That's big, and I'll give Dolphins and their fans down here some props, but still a lot of work to be done. I think for you guys. What
You
else went
guys.
down? Dolphins, you guys, you Dolphin people. All right, so we got one guy who's suspended for the year, and Mr. Calvin Ridley. He gets traded to the Jags, so the Jags looking forward to next year. Ain't zero problem with that. I do think that he should be brought back in from suspension though, because it's getting comical. Like all the Reds are gonna have uh, that their own uh, deal at their stadium. It's happening all over the damn place. And how are you gonna fault these guys? You got them promoting it too. What do you like?
Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's
It's like
dumb.
having the cocaine all around a cokehead and saying no, you can't do it, but it's all around you. You can smell it. It's in
You,
the air.
you
Look,
don't get high on your own supply. Come on now. That's rule number one.
I get if he went out there and he bet against the Falcons and then was out there dropping 7 passes a game. I get it. Then you suspend him. That's wrong. That's throwing a game. But come on,
He
he's
wasn't even
betting.
playing.
That's what I'm saying. If you're betting on another team, you're not even playing in. Who cares? Especially on on your off week, you want to throw a. You're a millionaire. You got nothing to do. You're gonna throw a couple thousand down on games that you're not even playing in. Go ahead. What's the big deal?
I think it's terrible.
Stupid.
Maybe
It's
what
a
they can do
miscarriage of justice, like Gorilla
is they
Monsoon
have to
used to
go
say.
through the NFL for this because I don't think it's a big deal if they're not betting obviously on their. I mean, but then
Yeah,
again,
you can't bet on your own. Either they should have their own app for the NFL players to go bet. You can't bet on your own team, or maybe even certain teams that was your best friend. Oh, well, you can't bet on this game, this game, this game.
that
Well, you
that
can
was what
bet
I was
on
gonna say.
certain games. They should do that. Why not?
That's what I was gonna say. The problem would be like, oh, it's buddies. Like, hey man, I have you going under 5 catches, so make sure you just
Yeah.
catch four.
But how is that different from when you see the videos of guys on the field saying, "Hey, should I start you today on my fantasy league?" Like if you've got who maybe they're in $20,000 buy-in leagues. What's the difference? Like
Yeah, they could be in $1 million leagues for all we know, like personal $1 million
right.
leagues that we don't know about. It's
Yeah, it's
true.
under the table.
It's
And
true.
that doesn't even have to like have an impact on the game. You could be down by 20 and then you drop a wide open pass so that you don't get the points for this guy, and it doesn't impact the game itself. Hey, listen, when you become a raging gambler, you start thinking all the different angles that people could play. All right, let's go through some of the other bigger trades. TJ Hawkinson, I thought that was big, number one, and really, really out of left field in inner division
Yeah,
trade.
same division. That was
Yeah.
really weird. But that's
Timmy, this
Detroit.
hurts. This
That's
hurts the
Detroit.
Lions' chances here, I think.
Oh, I gave up. I gave up on them already. I gave up. I give up this whole year already. To be honest with you,
Well,
So
I
your
I,
boy
that's
Kirk
another
Cousins got some
weapon,
more help.
another weapon, baby.
Let's
Again,
see
my
what the
boy.
excuse is gonna be this year.
Where's my weapon? Actually, I used him as backup in one league last week and got me 31 points, so all good. But yeah, he's loaded up on weapons, barring any injuries. So if anything happens on the offensive side, you got him every single weapon imaginable. You have him covered everywhere. You have the best backup running back in the league. You got your tight end now. You got one of the elite receivers in Jefferson. You got Thielen, who is a touchdown machine. He's not the big number of yardage guy anymore, doesn't seem, but he's the touchdown guy, and that's what you need. And this is not fantasy, guys.
you know what's going to happen to the Vikings, right? We all know it's going to come down to the kicker, and the kicker's going to blow it again, and that whole city's going to explode because of a kicker. Happens every year.
Every single it does. It always feels that way. Chase play cool.
Play cool.
Claypool heads from Pittsburgh to the Bears.
Poor
Uh,
guy.
Poor
this
him.
one,
I don't get that.
yeah, but I'll say that Fields has been playing really good these last two weeks. So maybe it's the Bears thinking let's get him a speed guy to go along with his running abilities, and if they would make the right call, and Khalil Herbert is in my opinion, is the better running back there. Um, and this guy Mooney didn't do anything. I feel like I said, I feel like Fields has been better the last few weeks, and fantasy as well. He's blowing it up there. If you need a fill in for one of your quarterbacks on a bye week in the next few weeks. But what do you guys think about that one? You know, Claypool takes a backseat. He'd already gone down to like the third guy there. Now you got Pickett and Johnson out there. But what are you guys thinking here from a perspective from Claypool going to the Bears?
Didn't really make sense to me. I still don't think he's that great of a throw, like a passer. I think he's more of a running back.
Yeah,
Um, and
I don't
then
care
for
how he gets
this,
his fantasy points though.
no, of course not. And then for the Steelers, I thought it was weird. Like, I guess you don't. I thought you wanted to get this guy help, but it looks like they're calling it a year. See you
Oh
guys
yeah,
next year in the draft. It looks like that now for them. So I don't know. I thought did
that
no one
Najee
else
stinks.
did no one else give him an offer? That's what I'm thinking. That's why they just went with the Bears.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought he'd go to a contender. I thought he'd
That's
go
why
somewhere.
to go to the Bears is just such a weird team. Like, they're not gonna contend. They're not gonna go anywhere. He's not gonna get like. I don't think he's gonna get crazy fantasy value or stats.
yeah.
So it was kind of weird why he went there.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me either.
What are the Bears now? What's their record now?
Like
If
what,
if
3-6? No, three and
I don't
four. No, five. Right, 3-5.
the Bears are 3-5.
3-5. So they're at the bottom there with the Lions.
Well, they're tied with the Packers. So the 3-5 Packers. All right, so that's Claypool going there. Bradley Chubb has the Dolphins, like what we spoke about, and the combination of Chubb and Wilson, they really they bolster that Dolphins line and the running game. And if you're the Dolphins internally, you think you have gold in Tua. I'm not sold. Sorry, Carlos. Um, and
He just has those weapons. He has
it's the web. Yeah, I mean,
what,
yeah,
top two receivers in the league.
fast as shit, man. You
Like,
can just toss it up, and that's why he
even
underthrows
like a
them.
little dump pass, and he can just speed off. He's gonna
Yeah,
make guys miss, and Waddle is just like a mini version of him as well.
right.
Like, having those two guys has just been incredible for Tua. Like, good for him because he needed that.
And Timmy, do you think this should have the Bills on high alert?
No, no. I think no. I think
They're 1-0
I think
against
they're
him.
too. They're too. The Bills are just ridiculous. They are. But as far as the wild card and stuff goes, absolutely. The Dolphins, like I said, Denver just gave the Dolphins their spot, basically. Any shot that the Denver had, like, here, Dolphins, you take our playoff spot. We don't want it this year. We're good. That's basically what that trade was about. So,
Here, Dolphins, let's ride.
yeah, exactly. Are they a threat to the Bills? No, they're not a threat to the. If you look at the Bills' schedule, the Bills have two tough games left. Two, and don't get me wrong, the division teams do play them hard. The Jets will play them hard. The Pats will play them hard. The Dolphins will play them hard. But really, if you look at it, they have the Bengals, and they have what was the other team? The Vikings. Thank you. The Vikings. They're the only two real tough teams that the Bills have to face, and I think they'll wipe the floor with the Vikings. To be honest with you, but I think the Bengals is going to be a really good game. The Dolphins, no, I don't think they're the threat yet. Yet,
You sure about after that Monday night
We're not sleeping on
fiasco
them.
with the Bengals?
no, I think the Bengals. They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Oh yeah, Dolphins fans are coming in.
There it
You
is.
guys
Fins
unleash
are
them
all
with
in.
I'm not sleeping on them. I'm just saying they're not catching the Bills this year. If they
What
get
about?
in, they can make noise.
Yeah.
They can.
Okay.
They can make a lot of noise.
That's
I'm
where I
not
was
sleeping
going.
on them. No, no, no. They can definitely do something.
Now, would you want to
It's
play them in the playoffs?
In Miami, no, because it's 700 degrees on the field. But
so
if they're
even
playing
then.
in if they're playing in Buffalo in the snow, nope.
Oh,
Sorry,
that's like facing the Undertaker in a casket match.
which he never
It's
won.
No, he won casket matches. It was the buried
well,
alive he never won.
Oh, the buried alive, he
uh,
never won. You're right. That's right. I'm sorry. I forgot.
remember that one casket match that it took 800 people, Yokozuna and like Crush and all these people, Jeff Jarrett, all came out of the locker room. All right, so the Dolphins right now are in the sixth seed in the AFC. It's still a lot of time to go. It's all bunched up right now. You got the Bills at 6-1, Titans 5-2, Chiefs 5-2, and then a bunch of teams at 5-3, and then the Chargers are 4-3. And I feel like everybody's written the Chargers off, and they're right there at 4-3. And then you got a bunch of teams at 4-4, 3-4. Um, Interesting team maybe. The Browns are 3-5 right now. They get Deshaun Watson back in 4 weeks. How does that even transpire? Speaking of drama, we'll have lots of drama to discuss that week. But Timmy, do you think that Deshaun Watson, let's say he comes back and he's fully healthy, week 13 comes along, do you think that the Browns can somehow squeak into the playoffs?
Well, here's my question. He's banned from team facilities and all that stuff, right? So whatever workouts he's doing on his own.
Yes.
I don't see. I think it's not going to be enough. I think it's going to be too late in the year for him to make a real impact. I mean, he'll help them probably win at the end a little bit, but
I mean, he's
he,
got Chubb.
He's got Chubb, and they
Chubb.
didn't trade Hunt, which I thought they were
I
talking
heard you
about
say
doing.
something completely.
I don't know.
What'd
I
you
heard.
hear?
I heard the same exact thing, Dave.
I heard you replace his first initial and the H in his last initial. That's what I heard.
Replace the K in the first initial. Kareem.
Well, I just heard you say his last name, but instead
Oh,
of the
oh,
H,
oh, oh, K. There was a K sound.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
are one of my favorite words. Is what you the good old see you next Tuesday. So up until this may or may not sway you here. So this is week.
they have a nice
That was
team.
week 8.
Like he has Cooper's been reemergence there.
Yeah, but here,
Peoples.
just take a listen. They got the Dolphins. Their next set of games: Dolphins, Bills, and Bucks. Those are the three games. So they could be 3-8. They could be 4-7, somewhere along those lines. I don't see them
So
any better than that.
I mean, they can. What if they went out? Because then his first game back is what, the Texans.
Yeah. So then you got when he comes back, when he returns, it's the Texans, Bengals, Ravens, Saints, Commanders, and Steelers. The schedule is kind of there.
They can win out.
Besides the Bengals, everything, and the Ravens.
Well, they just mopped the floor with the Bengals, and they didn't have this guy.
Hey. Well, they don't have they don't have their number one wide receiver either. So I mean, that it's not just like a Giants number one wide receiver, Jesse James. It's, it's it's Chase. But I think those will be the two tough games for him. And obviously every road game is going to be tough for him. They're gonna crucify him on the road here, and
They're
then
gonna have to sneak away with at least one, hopefully two, to have a chance. They would have to beat the
And
Bucks and someone, maybe the Dolphins.
he's going to be rusty. He's going to be rusty.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
because he
care.
hasn't played in what, like 2 years now.
Yeah, I don't care where he's
yeah,
practicing or who he's practicing. He's not playing NFL speed. He's not playing that. You know, and there are going to be a couple guys that want to take a nice shot at him. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for the Browns this year.
yeah. Over in the NFC, you got the Eagles still 7-0, Vikings 6-1, and then you got 5-3s, the 6-2s of the Cowboys and Giants. 49ers 4-4, but obviously we know they're a much better team now. And then on the outside looking in, teams that we had no idea that we'd be saying this about. You got Washington, that's fine, but like the Rams and the Bucks and the Packers, Cardinals, all outside looking in right now. And so if Rams and Bucks this week is supposed to be this like elite, before the season starts, it's one of those matchups. Oh crap, Rams, Bucks, this is gonna be fun. Tyler Hero just made the game-winning shot. Your favorite, Dave. Your fave.
Yeah, that was said there on purpose. Yeah, Tyler Hero.
Oh
Good,
man,
about time. Where
About
was he
time.
last game against the Kings, or last game against the Warriors?
They won the game.
Well, they lost to the Kings last week.
Well, I'm talking about the Warriors. The Warriors game. All right. So if you had to say, the Rams, Bucks, and Packers, if you had to say one of those teams is making the playoffs, which one is making the playoffs? Timmy, who you think? Rams, Bucks, Packers.
Bucks. You can't count out Brady and them. I mean,
Hate that we keep on saying that shit.
yeah,
I hate
just
it.
I'm only speaking logically because we've been counting the guy out for 20 years now, and every year he finds a fucking way. I think the Rams. I don't know, man. I think they're still drunk from the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know what's going on.
This
But
is a rough.
really enough, I think I told you this before, Steve. I am a Madden player, and I play
Mhm.
franchise. In my franchise that I've played, the Rams have been terrible. So it's like they knew something that we didn't know because I'm like, why are the Rams so bad? I think my
Madden in
first
Vegas.
franchise year they finished 2-15,
Oof.
three something, and I was like, wow, that's really weird for the Rams. They have a lot of injuries. Nope, just did not play well. So maybe it's the Madden curse or something going on because they look terrible. So out of those three teams, I'm going with the Bucks. The Packers are fucking done. You just lost
Yeah.
3 games to the Giants, Jets, and the goddamn Commanders. You might as well just pack it in now.
And somehow covered for themselves in the spread, 10.5 points against the Bills. No, I had the Bills 10.5. I
Over.
had
Ooh.
lose it by a half a point. God damn it.
I'm gonna agree with Timmy there on the Bucks. If the Bucks had someone in their division that would win the division, I would go Rams. But because that division is a toss-up still, the Bucks can somehow win that division at
Right.
9-8.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only reason I'll say the Bucks will make the playoffs before the Rams do.
Yeah, and I'm with you guys because the Rams Seahawks are playing, pretty much lights out, playing really well, and then the 49ers just got one of the best weapons in football, and they did what they did the other day without Debo. So you put Debo back, like you don't know on that team, you don't know who's running the ball, you don't know who's gonna be a receiver, you don't know who's gonna pass the ball. How do you even game plan for that shit now? Now these days, wait,
You got a game plan for Garoppolo.
trifecta.
That's who
That's
who
it.
has to beat you. That's who has to beat you. You have to take
Yes.
everyone out. Just have Garoppolo beat you.
But who are you throwing a double at? Is it McCaffrey? Is it Debo? Ayuk has been sizzling. It's tough right now. Like
And that's at
if
this.
if
What is
Garoppolo
it?
doesn't make mistakes, like this team could win, 12 games, this year.
And Kittle has also been kind of quiet, no?
Yeah.
So
so
it's
So
far.
like,
wait, it's like an eruption coming, guys. 49ers.
He's a viper in the weeds. He's waiting to strike.
uh, looking back to week 8, I mean, there were some crazy games. The Panthers and the Falcons come to mind. The ending of that game, which I think is one of the stupidest rules in the game. You can't take off your helmet to celebrate. And then I saw, was it on Monday night, or doing one of the shows or something? They had somebody from the rules committee, and they actually said that they made a mistake. They didn't call the right number, but because field of play, Moore was out of bounds when he took his helmet off. But there was 2 other guys in the end zone from Carolina that had their helmets off. It's a stupid, idiotic rule. Really, it. What do you guys think about this? Like, really?
Yeah,
Am I wrong? Am I?
nah, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that's just dumb. I mean,
yeah,
if it was in the middle of the game and he takes it off to yell at a ref or something stupid, like throws it down on the ground, I get it. But you just scored the winning goddamn touchdown. Well, what could have been
It was
the winning
supposed to be if
goddamn
you didn't get the
touchdown.
penalty.
Yeah, you're pumped up. You're excited. You're gonna do a lot of, let it go, man. NFL, no fun league.
It's unbelievable. Dave, you got to think there's something wrong with that rule.
yeah, absolutely. I will just say this about that game:
Now we come with the
Baker
use.
would have won that game. That would have not happened.
On.
That would have not happened with Baker there. That's all I'm gonna
They
say.
did.
Oh,
They did
because he
win the
has
game
so
without
much
him.
self control.
Why he wasn't kicking the field goal.
No, he would have calmed DJ Moore down, right? Because
Exactly. He would have been like, "Hey, get over here, bud. You do that over here on the sideline, on the bench here. This is where you do it."
He would have had
Baker's
his
such a
helmet
leader.
and his shirt off. He would have had his helmet and his shirt off. Baker.
No, let's be real. Baker, they would have not even been in that game.
Yeah, it would have been blowout city. All right, the Vikings won. Dolphins take care of business in Detroit. Not a lot of stuff to really talk about.
Oh, how about we
from
talk
last
about
week's
how
game.
the Raiders just shit the bed?
Did you have money on this game?
I just had one thing on that game, and I was like, again, it's one of these stupid bets that I'm like, how do you lose this, David?
Hmm.
And it's David Carr. Just throw a damn touchdown. Just one. You have Devontae Adams on this goddamn team. Pitch it to Josh Jacobs. Like
Like,
just one.
but if you would have, if the line was it was Devontae Adams plus or minus 4.5 total receiving yards, and you went over, you would have lost in 3 yards.
Well, see, I just did that, so I did like a parlay of like the touchdowns. I think I did one for him. I think I did one for no, I did two for what's this guy, Josh Allen, and like I've been trying to do some of those that I'm like, okay, these are for
Yeah.
sure. And if I build up a nice little parlay, I don't gotta go so big for me to make money back. And
Right.
yeah, this is the second week where last week it was the hurt well, and it was the Chargers that lost, and then Brady not throwing a touchdown, and then this week it was Derek
Brady,
Carr.
look, don't stop bet. You need to take this. Is what you need to do. You need to take a step back, and you need to take a break, at least a 1 week break from betting over unders on thrown touchdowns or any, like, for you to be gambling and to put a bet down on Tom Brady to just get in the end zone, and he doesn't do it. And then Derek Carr to just get in the end zone, and he doesn't do it either. It's time for a 1 week break on that.
Sit back, relax.
Go no.
This week's
as
gonna
long
be
as-
worse
just
because the Giants
don't-
aren't playing, so I have
don't
nothing.
get- yeah. So you got to make just no more quarterback bets on that. Do get some running back stuff going in there, but the bad juju's with you.
Yeah, it is.
The 49ers whooped up on the Rams. They just outclassed them. Even minus Debo.
McCaffrey
Gino.
with the hat trick.
G, no. We should have never
Okay.
let Gino go.
McCaffrey with
Should've
the hat
never let him
trick
go.
is the more important story we were just talking about.
No,
Yes.
Gino is the more important story right now. He
Gino
just
isn't the most important person in his own family, Dave. Let alone fucking football.
Gino just figured out another way to screw the Giants over again. He
No, I
did
don't
it to
think he
Eli.
did.
He did it to Daniel Jones. He just no.
Richard James screwed us over twice,
Oh my god.
twice, twice. He would have been fired immediately after the game if I'm the general manager. Him and that other asshole I talked about last
From the
week.
week before.
Pack him up, pack him up, and roll him out. They would have been traded 5 seconds after that game was over.
I don't know why he got another chance at that. I would have not given him another shot at that. But like, I don't want you to run again after that first muff punt.
That's where I like
Yeah.
the old school guys. Your Jimmy, what's his name, Jimmy Johnson. Your Bill Parcells. You fumble once, have a seat. I won't see you. Maybe I'll let you run again in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Maybe if we need you. Otherwise, you're done for this game.
That's really
Fumble.
hurtful from a fantasy standpoint. And when it happened, and you had it recently, I guess the guy who does that a lot in recent years is Belichick. And if you had a
Mhm.
Patriots
That fumble.
running back and he fumbled, you were like, "Oh, damn!
You're not seeing him again
Yeah,
for
I
the
might not
rest of the
even be able.
game.
Not even the right. Might even not even start next week." It's like Belichick takes that shit to heart. But that's the Giants. That was a rough way to lose a game there, on two fumbles, that easily avoidable mistakes, that led to Seattle points. Not an easy place to play. Not an excuse.
Hey,
But I think that Seattle's
17
one of the
passing
few.
yards in the first half.
I
So
don't know.
impressive there.
Yeah. How many passing attempts did he have? I don't know what that meant.
It was a bad all
Packers
around
and
game.
What was it?
It was a bad all around game anyway.
Yeah. The Packers go down to the Bills. I guess it's a moral victory that they didn't get totally blown out there, which is what happened to the Bengals on Monday Night Football. I kept on waiting. I've kept on waiting for the Bengals to click and for that thing to start reversing, but it never did. Thankful that I didn't put any money on this. Do
Yeah.
you, Timmy? You were we mentioned the Bengals a little bit earlier, but with Jamar Chase out, maybe for another 4 weeks, are you worried? From a Bengals perspective, are you worried about the season going forward now?
Yeah, that does hurt. It hurts big time. Yeah, they're just one of those. They're just one of those teams. It seems like adversity. They don't handle adversity very well. So mentally, they got to get into it. They're another team I thought might make a deal to get Jamar Chase a little help out there, and that didn't happen either. Uh, yeah, I think they're a little bit of a trouble now. I still think they're a good team, but yeah, I think it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt when he doesn't because him and Young they played together in college. That's
Yes.
huge. That is
No, it's a
huge.
connection. Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna hurt them in the long run. That defense is
And
gonna have to start playing better than they have been.
yeah, and it's not people just say, oh, to bump up the two and the three to the one and the two. It's not always that simple.
No.
The two is used to being played by a certain level of cornerback, and when you bring the two up to a one to play that elite cornerback on the other side, it
Well,
just
look
doesn't
at the
work out
Giants. The Giants, the
exactly the
next
same.
man up still sucks. The next man up still sucks as far as the receivers go.
Um, so Dave, just to give you an idea, the next, I'm going to say next 4 games. Let's say he misses the next 4 games. They said what? It was 4 to 6 weeks before this Browns game. So let's just look at the next month or so. They got the Panthers. That's fine.
They'll win that.
They got the Steelers
They'll win that.
in Pittsburgh. Then they go to Tennessee,
They'll lose that.
Yeah, maybe tough.
and then Chase might be back after that Tennessee game, but if he's not, they are at home against the Bengals.
Wait, what?
No, they
Yeah,
can't go against
if
the Bengals
they're
are
at
playing the
home against
Bengals.
they're at home against the Chiefs. Sorry,
Ah,
Oh, they'll lose that.
sorry.
yeah,
So if
they're losing that one for sure,
Yeah.
even
So-
with Chase.
so, let's say they go 2-2. The Bengals are what, 4-4. So that's 6-6. You get Chase back. Then you go against the Browns, the Bucks, the Patriots, the Bills, and Ravens.
Oof.
But
They
now
got
the
a
Bills
tough-
might have the number 1 seed wrapped up. or maybe they're playing for something and they go into Cincinnati and they need to, maybe need to separate themselves from the Chiefs, or it's probably just the Chiefs at that point. Um, but it's interesting as you look down. Even the Giants, their last game or is against the Eagles, and the
Well,
Eagles,
their last like 5 games are all division games.
yeah,
It's
and
crazy.
the
It's
last two
insane
two
how
out
that
of
works.
was it 2 out of 3 against the Eagles? 1 week on, 1 week off. But at the same time, the Eagles are 7-0, and they might have zero to play for. But to screw their division rivals. Uh,
Well, unless they go 16-0, and then it's like, okay, they're
yeah,
gonna
that's
go out
true.
and whoop us.
No, then we take care of business, Dave. We
I
take
mean,
care of
we
business.
didn't do it last time.
Daniel Jones puts up 420. Uh,
He even made Tim laugh.
Hey, I'm not against the guy, but he ain't putting up 420 against the Eagles.
Or- Unless we
hey, Matt.
magically sign T.Y. Hilton, OBJ,
He might be smoking 420 before the game, but he ain't putting up 420.
That's
Plaxico comes out of retirement.
So I went with that number, guys. NFL did a good job of putting some compelling games towards the end of the season this year. Yeah, Matt. I think they did do a good job with the scheduling this year, especially if it works out in favor of the Giants. All right, so let's get to it, guys. Unless you got anything else you want to cover from Week 8, let's get into the world famous picks. Tim might have
This,
had his worst week ever.
ever in 3 years, I have my worst week. My worst week
Uh,
ever.
6-9, Timmy.
I know.
You
Believe me,
can only look up from here, Tim. Only up from here.
every game I watched, I was like, really,
This is
really,
really evident.
really.
All right. So let's get into this week's matchup. There's only 13 games this week. And there's no London game. There are a few crazy spreads here.
So wait, how about
But
we go into the standings?
you
Just
want to
because
go into the standings?
I,
Let's get into
I
the
don't know what that
standings.
looks like yet. I
Oh,
know that I
oh,
was 6 games back.
yeah. So I have now gotten into a first place tie with Joe and Ed at 74 and 49.
3-way.
Kyle is 2 out. Timmy and Dave are now tied,
I can't live
5
with being
out.
behind Kyle. I have to have a good week.
Damn.
I can't live with myself being behind Kyle.
So if you want, you can ask me what Kyle picked, and then you can see if you want to put
I
that
need a
into your
lot more. I
judgment.
need a lot more help than that so far this year. I might
Well,
I
you
might
only
pull
won.
I might pull
You
a
only
George Costanza this week and just go completely opposite of what I really want.
Tuna on rye.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah, and so Dave, you're 5 out, and Timmy, Bert 6 out, Keith 6 out, Rodriguez and Eric both 10 out, as it stands right now. All right, first games first. Is this the Thursday night game in it? Ugh. But is Al Michaels like? Doesn't Michaels want to call a good game? Did you not realize what happens on Thursday nights?
Nope.
All right, this is the Eagles at the Texans, and the Eagles are a 13-point favorite here. Can't possibly imagine the Texans being the ones to snap this this streak of perfection here. So I easily I'm going to go with the Eagles here. We all good there?
Yeah, all
Unfortunately,
Eagles. No, do you think they cover?
um,
It's a
Yes,
big line.
I do.
I think they
I
cover.
actually do. I think yeah. This is like a 20 plus. So there are alternate lines out there you can go to. You can get like Eagles minus 19 or something like that. If you want to go that way. Really live dangerously. You can't possibly get shut out of that. No touchdowns. All right, let's get to the Sunday slate here. Some more manageable games here for the underdogs. Chargers at the Falcons. Chargers are a 3-point favorite in Atlanta, which they probably have just as many home fans in Atlanta as they do in Los Angeles. But we'll start with you on this one, Timmy.
Oh boy. Um,
Kyle went with the Falcons.
did he? Chargers. I was going to go Chargers anyway. I was going to go Chargers anyway. I'm not just busting ball. I was.
Dave.
I don't know, man. Atlanta's been playing rather well, but I hate the Chargers so much.
I do too. I really do. They're one of those teams.
I'm gonna go Chargers, I guess too. Shoot.
Uh, I'm gonna go. We'll go with the Chargers sweep here. In Craplina. Next up, the Dolphins and their speed demons heading up to Chicago to play the Bears. Dolphins are a 4.5 point favorite. I don't know if maybe Chase Claypool comes in and has a 200-yard game to start off his career there in Chicagoland. In all seriousness, I have the Dolphins here. That receiving core is too damn fast, man. Can't do it. No, I have the Dolphins. I have the Dolphins covering in Chicago. 4.5. Timmy.
Yeah, their trade was a lot better than the Bears trade, so I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Dave.
I'll go Dolphins as well. I don't trust
He
the
doesn't want
Bears.
to.
I don't want to. I want to say Bears and they cover, but no, I'm going Dolphins. I gotta be smart this week. I picked up one game at least last week. I need to pick up a couple more this week.
That's true. That's right. That's right. Next up, the Carolina Panthers head to the Cincinnati Bengals, who just got whooped up on by the Browns. Cincinnati is an 8 point favorite here. Dave, we'll start with you on this one.
The Bengals.
Bengals.
No Baker, no win for the Panthers.
Yep, I'm going with the Bengals also, but they're not going to cover.
No, I don't think they're going to cover either. Jamar Chase in there, and they might cover that. But
That line's
no,
going
it's Jamar
down.
Chase.
Watch. It's going to be at -6 on Sunday.
Yeah, I have the Bengals also. Next up, the Packers are favored in a game, but they have been favored for the last 3 weeks. They head to Detroit to play the Lions. Is this a get right game for the Packers, or is this a like a ratings generator for Pat McAfee on Tuesday? If if
I
Green
think
Bay and Rodgers loses to the Lions
I think
in Detroit.
if the Lions don't blow that game against the Dolphins, I'm pretty sure Timmy goes with the Lions here without a doubt.
I don't know what to do honestly. 'Cause
Like,
they
how are we
lost
struggling with this pick? Like,
they
go
lost
into this
four
season,
straight.
Packers Lions.
4 straight the Packers have lost, right?
They
Jets,
do.
Giants, Commanders, and Bills,
Bills.
and
Yeah.
the Lions are the Lions. Oh my God!
This is great.
They trade DJ Hawkinson. They have no defense, but the Packers have no offense. Packers.
Packers.
I'm gonna put my cheese head on, and we're gonna fucking root for the Packers this week.
I too will go with the Packers. Man, but I'm just thinking in my head what life will be like if the Green Bay Packers lose 5 straight, and it's the Bills like coupled around the Lions, Giants, Jets, and Commanders. Excellent. It's like, Dave.
Yeah, I also go Packers.
All right.
By the way, they lose 5 straight. Packer ownership starts saying maybe we don't need $50 million quarterback next year. Mm,
It's all guaranteed though. Isn't
So
it?
they'll find a way. They'll say, "Listen, someone take this asshole off our hands, please. Let him go. Let him go to the Raiders, reunite with Devontae, and try to win them a title." How do you justify winning, like losing that many to the Giants, Jets, Commanders, that kind of thing? Forget about that. I would have fired him after those 3. So dude, this ain't working out. This $50 million a year deal. Sorry, my friend, you got to go. It's
50
time.
million. That's the difference between him and Brady. $50 million a year. Raiders and are at the Jags this week. Raiders who couldn't put up any points last week. Although they are 1.5 point favorites heading into Jacksonville. Timmy, who you got in this one?
Which makes a lot of sense. I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they're going to be pumped up the fact that they got Ridley next year. We got Calvin
Oh yeah,
Ridley, even though he's not here this year. They're going to be pumped up and they're going to win.
they should announce before the game. Ridley's been reinstated. We realize the stupidity of this all, and he just goes out there and goes nuts and, and beats the Raiders.
They
What's the Raiders' record?
they what,
Three
two
and four,
wins?
two, 3-5.
Do they even have 3 wins? I thought they only had two.
The Raiders are 2-5.
Oh my God.
So 5-10 combined. Raiders and Packers. The divorce has not ended well for either side. you know. All right. So Timmy, you have the Jags. You said.
Yep.
Dave, who you got? You're mad. See, when you're gambling, you also get pissed off at teams, and fuck you Raiders. I'm not picking you next week. I don't care if you were playing the fucking Bears. You
Yeah,
get
I don't
pissed.
like this feeling. This isn't a fun new feeling for me.
You're learning very, very quickly about the gambler, the gambler inside you.
Yes. But Raiders.
Whoa, going with the Raiders. This is a redemption game for you.
Let's hope. I'm definitely not going +1 though on Derek Carr again.
No, don't. I got the Jags. I think I think this is going to come down to it's going to be a battle. Obviously, the Raiders have, Raiders quarterback is more confident than he should be, which is not to say a bad thing. Sometimes having a little bit more confidence than what you should have is a good thing. But I think this comes down to this. This might be a really quick game because both running backs are on fire. Josh Jacobs on one side with the Raiders. ETN came out guns blazing last week as he takes over the reins, and then Robinson gets sent to the Jets. But this could be a really quick, lower scoring game. I think because I think the running games are going to control. That being said, I'm going with the Jags.
So I pick up one game on this one. All right, got it.
Got it. All right, next up. This is another tough one to pick, but Jonathan Taylor, the news on him is not good. He turned his ankle, the same ankle that he had injured and then rehabbed from. So I don't know if he's going to play. You got a rookie quarterback who never fares well against Belichick, and the Patriots is 6-point favorite at home against the Colts. Timmy, who you got in this one?
Going with, I gave up on the Colts too, by the way. They were another one of those teams I really thought were going to do something this year. Yeah, so I'm officially going with James Bunker's Patriots.
Do you think that for just this year that they made a mistake in switching for Matt Ryan? Like,
Absolutely.
especially when
Yeah,
he just started I felt like he just started clicking. He had that 4 touchdown game. I
yeah,
understand
it didn't
the
make any.
injury, but
No, it didn't make any sense to me. That no, I don't know what they're thinking. They might be trying to tank. Who knows?
You should just
yeah,
get Wentz.
he might as well.
Might as
It-
well have.
like
Yeah,
like the owner said, that Wentz is never going to be on my team again and stuff. And you bring her Matt Ryan. He has a shaky start, but he comes. I think Matt Ryan's a much better quarterback than Carson Wentz. There's a different there's a difference between the two of them. But you saw that he was just starting to get on, and just to make the move, it's a weird. Normally you're like, maybe it's the injury, but they said regardless of the injury, but normally in those situations you're like looking for an excuse to get the rookie in there. You're not like, oh, Matt Ryan is veteran, he's playing pretty well. Our wide receivers are starting to click, and everything's going well. Tight ends are all good. We got Jonathan Taylor back there. Let's move on to Mr. Ellinger. It's just it's a little weird to me. Um, Dave, who you got in this one? Colts, Patriots.
Patriots.
Pats. I got the Pats also. I like what they're doing at running back. Obviously, the coach. I watched a video about they were asking Belichick about his favorite shortstops growing up, and he smiled. And I was like, oh, he likes baseball. Look, he's like, there was great ones out there, and this and that. He said his best shortstop ever is Jeter. He's a Yankee fan. Um, but he started the guy who asked him. He was like, oh, but what about like Ozzie Smith? He was like, there's so many to name, and he smiled for a couple of minutes. Maybe he should go and do some baseball stuff to be in a better mood sometimes. All right, so that's another clean sweep there with the Pats. A few more to go here. This next one, I'm going to ask you guys just to take a guess here what the line is. It's the Bills at the Jets.
8.
8 says Timmy. Dave, what do you say? What say you?
Um,
See how much he's learned from the gambling world.
Not a lot. Can I get a hint? Is it a point .5?
No, it's a
It's a straight
flat number.
number.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So then against the Jets, I will say 13.
Look at Dave.
Dave, a Jets 13-point underdogs. I don't even think that we got to go through this. This is not like a line item by line item comparison. The
In
Bills
the
are
Meadowlands. In the Meadowlands, I'm shocked.
Yeah, so imagine if it was in Buffalo, it would be 16 at least. Holy shit! And this Jets team is not even that bad.
No, they're a pretty decent team.
They and then you're gonna have Allen Robinson get integrated into that this week, and
James.
him and Carter, huh?
James.
What did I say, Allen?
Yeah.
Allen Robinson should get integrated into that damn offense. God, jeez. If you're not gonna use the guy, why'd you sign him? You know. All right, let's move it right along here. Vikings and Commanders. Minnesota is a 3-point favorite here, and we'll start with Timmy on this one.
I think we're all going to pick the same team on this one. But yeah, the Vikings.
Vikings, Dave.
I don't know. Do the Commanders don't look all that bad? Maybe they want to get revenge on their former bum of a quarterback.
You see, they just picked up the guy who shot Robinson, Brian Robinson. He's a 17-year-old kid.
Wait, what?
The guy who shot the running back,
Uh-huh.
Ryan Robinson. He was a 17-year-old kid.
Wow.
They I think I saw the story that they arrested him today. They found him.
That's insane.
And you got that thing going on Amigos and
We
yesterday
should we should do a pop culture pros special news announcement for rappers. Stop tweeting your location while wearing $100,000 in jewelry, and you will not get shot. Thank you. Move on.
And maybe don't be playing dice in an alley. just.
But I
Well,
can
well,
guarantee that it's if me, you, and Tim are in a fucking alley playing dice, none of us getting shot.
Yeah, but we also aren't
Dave-
worth
Dave-
millions of dollars, and we can
Dave's
go
like,
afford a day's in
Not so sure
across
about
the
that.
street and go play there.
my chain's not 100. Oh wait, I don't even have a chain. My chain's not $100,000. So no, the one that was shot in the chicken and waffle place was tweeting, "I'm here, like come and get me." And guess what? They came and got you, moron. Stop doing it.
All right, so that's a Viking sweep there. Is that right, or were you goading us
No.
into maybe you're gonna
Give
pick
me
the
the
Commanders?
Minnesota Cousins.
The Cousins. The Cousins might win a championship this year. You just never know. You know, especially coming. They got weapons.
Kirk Cousins doesn't have to be good. He's got so
Yeah.
many weapons. He just has to not turn the ball over.
Which he never does in his career. This year, I think he's got a couple more turnovers. But I don't like Kirk Cousins, Dave. I'm looking at you. But
Could have fooled
he's
me.
the most disrespected. He's a
He
good
hasn't
quarterback.
done
Like
anything.
I get that. No, but the stats allow. How many years was he with the Commanders, Redskins, whatever the fuck their name is? And
He had chances
they
to get to the playoffs with them.
They got
He
chances
just
to
didn't.
get to the playoffs, but he's too busy, winning a game and then going into the locker room. You like that? And then selling the shirts. And the Redskins, you got Dan Snyder out there. He's like, oh, you got that? Yeah.
All he has to do is beat Trent Dilfer. That's all you got to do.
Tannehill, Dilfer. Fuck Dilfer. Fucking Dilfer. God damn it.
No, I'm just saying.
Right?
You don't have you don't have to be good to win the Super
Don't be
Bowl
Kerry Collins.
if you have a
Oh,
good
yeah.
team around you.
All right. The Seahawks. Damn. Seahawks are going to Arizona to play the Cardinals. Arizona is a 2.5 point favorite here. And I'm continuing this. I'm not going to Seahawks. I know Modern Warfare is out. I know this is week 2. But I'm going with the Cardinals. I am going with the Cardinals. Um, After some weird stuff that they tried to pull with Rondell Moore, everything seems to be back and all good. He had a touchdown and 80 or 90 yards last week. Good graces and all that stuff. Connor's back. I think the Cardinals pull out this game. You don't have to face the 12th man, the fake speakers, and all that bullshit in Seattle. I got Arizona. Timmy, who you got?
Yeah, it's hell with them in their fluorescent uniforms and Pete Carroll
Stupid.
and this fucking Geno Smith. All of them.
Gee.
All of them. I hope they get lost in the desert and they never come out. So I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals.
I will admit that Lockett play was pretty damn good. Damn that, but
Which
that
one, the
was on the
fumble?
route. No, that was on the route. No, that was pretty damn good for us. But the route that he ran on that hitch route up the sideline.
Well, he also dropped
Dave,
one that he could have been an easy touchdown.
yes, but he made that play and they won the game. I guess that's all that matters for us. God damn. Fuck.
G no should have kept Gino.
No,
Man, should have kept
G,
Gino.
no, absolutely not. Who you got in this one? Got the little
I,
guy.
I got the guy who was giving me a chance again in fantasy.
Yeah, Hopkins. Look that fuck.
What a beast,
Yeah,
man!
lighten the damn thing up.
That one-handed touchdown catch, I was like, oh, he just threw it away, and he somehow snatched that thing. I was like, whoa.
That's it. See, you got these quarterbacks that have their comfort guys, and Hopkins is a comfort guy, obviously.
By the way, did you see how badly I beat Gil? Because Gil fell into that. Every person he had was on a bye this week.
Oh,
I beat him like 200. I beat him like 200 to 77 or something like that.
Oh,
I felt bad for him. Every one of his guys was on bye.
good. Yeah, I lost to Keith, and I lost by 7.
Doesn't it suck losing the auto draft, people? Doesn't it suck?
I beat Kyle.
Good.
Good, very good.
And you know, in my
Uh,
other league, I would have beat my brother-in-law. Except at the last moment, I was like, Chase Claypool versus the Eagles, or Wandell Robinson. I think is going to break out against the Seahawks. Took out Claypool, and I lost
Yeah.
by 3 fucking points. Thank you.
I had the reason I lost is a disaster. Well, Saquon was held below what he typically gets. He was projected for 26 points, got me 15, and then the other one was Courtland Sutton, projected for 15, got me 2.3.
Sutton's
Um,
been such
Yeah,
trash,
bruh.
bro.
That's another reason I wanted Judy to get traded. You get Sutton out there; he's all by himself. While we're here, let's take a look at Timmy. Timmy's in first place tie with Rodriguez 5-3. Where am I? Look at Dave is in. Dave's he won a couple games in a row, right?
No, well, I think I'm what
2-6.
2-6. I could have been 3-5 had I've
Oh,
been
oh,
able
oh.
to drop Sammy Watkins from my IR and pick up.
We should have brought that up. Maybe let's bring that up next week, and we'll see if see where the world sides. But I'm struggling.
I
this
voted
week.
with you. I voted with you. I don't care. I voted with you.
Oh, do you know why though? But I first I was joking with him, and I said, "You're facing me. I should just say no," and he missed that. He completely missed that. That I said
because
that.
you brought up the other league that you're in, and I thought
Yes.
that you were talking about that league. So I was like,
I
oh,
see.
okay, that's funny. Like that makes sense.
Yeah, because I'm in another league, and I had picked up another defense, and I had specifically stopped. I was driving home from Orlando, and I specifically timed the stop to stop before 1 o'clock. So I put that defense in. I hit save. I double checked, and then when I got home, it was the Rams defense, which was on a bye. And I said to the commissioner of that league, and I said, "Hey, what's going on? And I all I got was a thumbs down. So I didn't get like a I didn't get like, oh yeah, that sucks, or yeah, you know what? That makes sense. I'll put that other other defense in. No, I just got thumbs down. So I was like, all right. It's like, okay, that's cool. All right.
You still won though, right? You still won that week.
I still won without a
Yeah.
defense, which was amazing. Yeah. All right. So clean sweep, Cardinals. Next up, we got 3 games left here. Next up, the Rams and the Bucks. Again, one of these that are supposed to be like the highlight of the week, right? If you're looking at this slate of games on where you have 6 teams on bye, you only have 13 games, and you're looking at the rest of these games: Packers, Lions, Raiders, Jags. You're not looking at any of these other games as the ones to carry your week. You're looking at the Rams and the Bucks. That's why it's a 4:25 game. It's that afternoon game. Get settled in. You just took a nap. You got all that energy, and now it's 2 sub 500 teams. You know, fighting it out in Tampa. Maybe Brady, his head is out of the clouds now. The divorce is settled and all that's out of his way. But Tampa's a 3.5 point favorite here, and I am going with the Rams. I'm going with the Rams because I'm just thinking that the Bucks are just not playing well. The run game has been non-existent, even though they have 2 good options in the backfield in Fournette and White. And the Rams are coming off a bye, so I think they game plan enough and they take care of business in Tampa. Dave, who you got in this one?
Damn. So if the Bucks lose this one, what? It's 5 in a row for Brady.
Unheard of.
Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady might have the worst losing streaks of their careers at the same time.
The same. Yeah, exactly.
That's nuts. Yeah, so they're 3-5. I mean, they're 3-5 and right there with the division because of what division they're in.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't matter if they lose, where the
Jesus.
Rams do need to get the win.
It's going to be 75 degrees here on Monday. 75
Wow,
in New York on November.
Oh,
look at that.
he should have stayed retired.
You're right.
I'm gonna go Rams. Yeah,
The Ding Dongs. Timmy?
This one's hard. 'Cause I already feel Tom Brady has a girlfriend already. I don't know why. I think he's already moved on to the next model
You saw the
or,
odds?
or whatever. already
Odds
moved
on
on.
favorite?
He just traded him. He's getting a younger model. That's all. She got too old. He's like, I'm done with this. He's kind of like Leo DiCaprio. It's a certain age. You got to dump him off and get a new one. Damn it, this game is rough.
Do you know who's the favorite right now? While you think about that, who's the favorite? It's so stupid. It's the goddamn odds in Vegas. Who's the favorite to
Wait,
be?
this is a real thing?
Yes. I'm just joking about this. This is serious shit. They bet on everything. Who's the next odds-on favorite to be Tom Brady? I don't have no other idea what the reason why. To be Tom Brady's next girlfriend is Alessandra Ambrosio.
Interesting.
That's just
Number
random.
2,
Kim
no,
Kardashian.
number 2 on that list is Kendall Jenner.
What? That's so
You-
random.
How old is Kendall Jenner?
Wait, time out.
23?
I'd like to put a disclaimer up because what I'm about to say might come off.
27. He's
No, but
about
this
to be
might-
28.
Disclaimer.
Sorry, yeah, guys.
I don't mean to offend anyone when what I'm about to say, but the Kardashian women and the Jenner women don't like white people.
Yeah,
Well, I mean
that's
white
not
guys. White guys. Excuse me. They only date black dudes.
Now,
Basketball
No,
players.
wait. That's changed recently.
recently,
Why, who?
it's slightly changed.
So Kim dated Pete Davidson. I like how we're going into pop culture now in a sports show. So
and the
Kim-
other one,
and Courtney is dating.
she's
the
dating
drummer,
the whitest guy ever.
the drummer
alive.
from Blink 182, Travis Barker.
Yes.
Travis Barker. See,
Yes.
I don't keep up with the Kardashians like
And
you're supposed
and
to.
they're best friends with Machine Gun Kelly and Megan
Megan Fox.
Fox.
Those two disasters.
Yeah,
All right.
so
Like
there-
the
there's
whitest
a change.
people
In
ever.
there's
All
a
right.
change.
All right, I'll keep my
The
mouth shut.
change- Oh,
so
wait.
so when one of them dates a white guy, they all start dating white guys too. Is
I
that what
think
it is?
so.
They all follow what Kim does.
Taylor Swift is on this list.
Never happened.
That would be
That
the
yeah.
most annoying fucking couple ever.
Never
Tom
happened.
Brady and Taylor Swift. Kim
But,
Kardashian's on the
but
list.
but the song that she writes about Tom after they break up would be phenomenal.
Oh man, that would be number one for weeks.
I
Well,
would download it and listen to
I
it.
took him away from the supermodel, and yeah, all that kind of stuff.
She'll say, "I
Uh,
wrote a song about someone. I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but it's gonna be called like quarterback asshole or something."
uh, others on the list is Adriana Lima is on there. Jennifer Aniston is on there.
Hey,
Maybe he
Ariana
don't
Grande
want.
is on there,
No, never.
and
Maybe he don't.
Osaka is on there.
Maybe
The
he don't want
tennis
a
star.
model. Maybe he wants a
what?
regular person this time. Maybe he doesn't want a model. Now a sports chick I could see. I don't think he's gonna go model or singer. He's gonna go sports or just a regular,
Act,
average woman.
an average or like an actress.
Yeah, not. No, I don't mean average looking because he's Tom
Yeah,
Brady.
yeah,
I mean
yeah.
average, like your average
Say,
person.
yeah.
So
So
like a
all right.
Lindsey
So
Vaughn?
Lindsey Vaughn is on the list too. I missed that.
Yeah, like a.
She's tied with Kendall Jenner.
She's
She's
hot.
tied for Kendall. We should have done like a oh, what's that show? Not family. Yeah, I guess like Family Feud. Just like have them all popped up. We should just start naming random people and see if it pops up. Top 10 answers on the board.
It's true. Family Feud. Um, and I can never pronounce her last name. The blonde Candace, is it
I was like Parker.
Swanepoel or
Swenol. Yeah, yeah.
yeah?
I know what you're talking about.
I'm bad with names, guys. All right, so now Johnny Aguilar joins in here from YouTube. What's up, man? He should have stayed retired and married.
It's true.
Look, if he would have stayed retired, he would have stayed married.
Man, how bad was those vacations must have been that this man said, "I'm gonna go play football again."
What is that? Yeah, and
Maybe
now
he wanted. Maybe he wanted to get divorced, but not be the initiator. So he played football, so she would divorce him.
it's kind of like what a lot of guys do. Ignore. You don't want to be that one. Oh wait, she's gonna cry. No, 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 no. We'll just make her miserable until she's like, "Fuck me."
So he can
Can't blame it on me.
he can play the victim now. He can play
Yeah.
the victim.
I can't believe she wants a divorce after all these years. I've been there for her. Well, and now she bought. They say that she bought a new condo a couple months ago in Miami for 1.5 million or whatever.
Me and my 6 rings are so heartbroken. Meeting my new girlfriend, Kendall Jenner. It's like, all right, dude, move on, Tom. I don't feel bad for you, Tom, ever.
All right, so we're taking like Taylor Swift is out and Ariana Grande's out, but the rest of the list is like Ambrosio and Kendall Jenner, Lindsey Vaughn, Taylor Swift.
This
Oh
is
wait,
the
you
kind
said
of
no
thing
Taylor
we
Swift.
need. We need like Nardo on for this kind of topic.
Yes.
We need a female perspective here.
We need a an expert. Yeah, I'm with you, Johnny. All right, let's see if we got enough time to process this one now. Rams and the Bucks. All right, so sorry, Timmy, that took longer than I thought it was going to.
That's all right. I
I didn't know there's a whole list of 15 people.
I know. You know what? I'm gonna jump on with you guys, and I'm gonna go Rams.
The Ding Dongs with a clean sweep. Oh, the disrespect, Brady. We're disrespecting you, Tom.
I don't like his list of women, so I'm going with the Rams.
All right. The Sunday night game, the Titans and the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 11-point favorites in this one, and I am not going with the Titans here. I'm going as our buddy Keith would say. I'm going with the Titans to lose this one. Dave, we're going with the Chiefs sweep here.
Yes, sir.
Chiefs
I mean,
not covering.
is this update
Not
sweep?
The
Okay, not
Chiefs
covering.
Not
Okay.
covering. I
not
think
gonna
they
cover.
could cover.
Derrick Henry's gonna have a good day, but everyone else is gonna suck.
Is
That's the
Tannehill back
thing.
though?
Tannehill should be back. But the thing is, if they can stop Henry, then they cover. If they can't stop Henry, then they
They'll win,
probably
they'll,
won't cover.
They'll still win by 9. I'm just saying they won't cover 11.
Yeah, yeah. That's the Sunday night game, and then the. By the way, I watched for the first time in a long time College Game Day, on Saturday, and Pat McAfee is the star of every damn thing he goes on. I don't know what it is, but they got him in a shirt and suit and tie. I'm like, they got him out of his element, out of his comfort zone. This is the thing that I didn't like. They went out into the crowd with I guess she's pretty new. She used to be a Peloton girl. I Sims.
Is that
Her last
right?
name is Sims, I think. So she's on College Game Day now, and they cut away. They had Deion Sanders on. It was awesome. He had the whole crowd out there chanting whatever chants that they have for Jackson State. That was great. But then they pan out into the crowd, and she goes onto this like circular like little mini stage to bring on Stephen A. Smith through the crowd to say, "Oh, welcome, Stephen A. Smith. Go ahead and take your walk to the podium or to the desk." And it, what was necessary about that? He came onto the little podium. I'm being a little bit of a hater here, maybe, but also it's like, what is that for? Go there to the stage, you say a couple of words, and then everybody watched me as I walked to the main desk. And by the way, he missed the first couple of days of this week because he had COVID in that massive crowd. So now you don't. I don't know if Pat McAfee is like, oh, what's going on? But he was sitting right next to Pat McAfee. But
Oh,
I mean,
Oh,
COVID
see,
COVID is not.
look at that latest update at the bottom. You're gonna be happy.
yeah.
What do we got?
About the Astros game. Johnny.
Yes, let's go Astros. Boom.
I hope
Keep
that
those
plane.
That's-
I hope
coming, baby.
that plane crashes on the way back to Houston.
Holy crap!
Well, they still got to stay in Philly for another day.
Wait,
I hope,
okay, so it's two.
I hope Philly riots and burns their hotel down tonight.
Wow, no hit through 8 innings. That's
This is
bananas.
excellent stuff.
You want to see me
Break
ruin?
the spirit.
You want to see me ruin that?
No, Timmy, no.
By,
No!
by Seinfeld. Hello World Series.
All right, let's hit the Monday night game here. No, yeah, I confuse myself sometimes leaving that thing up there. Let's hit the Monday night game. The Ravens at the Saints. Baltimore is a 3-point favorite here. What I don't know what you make about the Saints here, but the Ravens. Who did they bring on? They made a trade, didn't they?
Roquan Smith.
Roquan Smith, they brought in. The thing with them, Bateman is going to be out for a couple weeks, and he's there. I mean, Duvernay has stepped up in spurts here, but I mean, Bateman's their perceived number one, and he's out. I had picked the Ravens. I'm still going to go ahead with the Ravens, even on the road, even without Bateman. I think they still get it done. So I'm going with Baltimore here. Timmy, who you got?
I'm going with the Ravens as well.
Johnny, I don't care if I would root for them if I knowingly knew they were cheating against the Phillies. That's how the Phillies deserve. I'm sorry.
It's not a
I'm
surprise,
sorry.
Johnny. It's the Astros. That's all they do. All they know how to do
Hey,
is cheat.
hey.
Just like all the Mets know how to do is lose. But
Even when I
That's
when I
not
play,
nice. That's an unprovoked attack.
when I play the show, I play the Astros. I start a bullpen guy because I drill Altuve with the first pitch of the game every single time, every time.
and he's up to bat right now. That's the
I know.
funniest thing.
I'm hoping
What's
he
it?
gets
What is
drilled.
it
I'm
still?
hoping he gets
What
drilled
at
in the
5-0?
face. 5-0.
5-0.
All right.
You got Al Cheater leading off, followed by Cheaterman, followed by
it's going to be hard for people that tune in to wonder who you guys are rooting for in the series.
No, right? We're being such, great
You're being so
journalists.
vague.
You know,
Yeah.
Listen. If
Non-biased.
Al Qaeda had a baseball team, I might be rooting for them against the Astros right now. That's how much I hate the Astros. They've surpassed the Red Sox right now. They've completely surpassed them.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it if it was against us. Then yeah, I could see. What's up, Victoria? I'm not Tim, but I'm going to say hi anyway.
Hi, Victoria. How are you?
Victoria.
All right. So Timmy, who you got in this one? Ravens at the Saints.
I also
Ravens
have the
3 point.
Ravens. Definitely
The
the
Ravens, nevermore. Dave.
Who that? It's gonna beat the Saints. Oh, it's gonna be the Ravens that beat the Saints. That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, that's the whole damn Browns Cowboy. If you're playing fantasy this week, you should have already checked your lineup to see what's going on with your buys. But you got the 49ers out. You got no Debo. You got no CMC. You got no Brandon Ayuk. You
I
got the
have no
Steelers
Chubb, no
out.
Barkley. I have nobody. I have
No
nobody this
Chubb.
week.
No Barkley. No Zeke. No Pollard. No the Zeke
Daniel
thing
Jones.
is
Oh
a
wait,
positive.
No
No
he's
CD
probably
Daniel
Lamb.
on the
Jones.
I
free
have no
agency.
CD Lamb this week.
No CD Lamb. The Browns. You're not going to have Cooper, not Cooper Cup. Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
The Broncos. They ain't no cooking this week, bro.
Not riding this week. We're filling up the gas right now. Broncos Nation, fill up.
And the Steelers have more problems than you even think because their running back stinks. Najee Harris sucks. You got.
Surprised they didn't try to get something for him.
He's averaging 3.2 yards a carry, and this is like not only a top 10 top running back in the NFL, but a top 5 or a top 7 fantasy guy, and he ain't doing shit right now.
They're not using him as a pass catcher, as a running back, nothing. It's just like he disappeared.
Yeah, it stinks. They're using the back. What's his name? Warren. He's showing some punch. It's almost like a Pollard. Pollard is the extreme explosive back there. Like if you're making a smart decision in Dallas, Tony Pollard's your starting running back. But
Cooper Rush is better than Dak Prescott. Tony
It should
Pollard
be
is better
Cooper
than
and
Zeke
Pollard.
Calm down. Zeke is still better than Pollard.
I don't think so. Explosiveness. No, I think that Pollard should be used on first and second down.
No,
At least
you know what they
alternating.
are. What they are?
No,
they
it's
are.
not Thunder and Lightning. No,
Yes, they are Brandon
Nope.
Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw. That's what they are.
Don't you
That's
dare
it. But
say something
better,
like that.
but better. That's all they are.
Brandon
Wait,
Jacobs
who's better?
was a specimen.
Did you say Pollard and
Rock.
Zeke are better?
Yes.
Oh,
Then
even
Bradshaw and Jacobs, absolutely. Yes, you're right. Brandon Jacobs, seeing him truck somebody was beauty.
I'm gonna take your argument on this. Who has more rings?
But that doesn't count.
I say that all the time. But the only time I think it matters even slightly is in the NBA because that's where one player will have the most impact. I don't think it's a big deal in the NFL. I think it's certainly not a big deal in baseball because that's just like astronomical.
Well, in the NFL, I feel like it's harder to get a ring. You have a lot of more factors than in the NBA. Where NBA, you're the Golden State Warriors and you can win every year, or you're LeBron James.
That's kind of what I was saying. You can have potentially one giant, back in when things weren't normal or things weren't normal and there weren't all these super teams going on, but you could have one major guy and some role players. And look what LeBron did the year they went to the finals against the Spurs. He could have picked up better players on the court down here in Plantation. But that's why I say the NBA. Or you want to talk more about rings in the NBA? Okay, but still, it's a team sport. NFL and baseball. Don't give me. Oh, he never won a ring. He could, Barkley might never ever win a ring, but he also might be the best running back in the history of the game by the time it's all said and done.
Right, because then we could say Marino shouldn't be a top 10 quarterback at all.
Right.
Forget the
Exactly.
stats. He didn't ever won.
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders. Yeah, well, poor Lions, man. Year after year after year. And then you would have to. I mean, that I said that to say that the ring talk in some of the sports is just ridiculous. It's like, quarterback wins and losses. Oh, the quarterback won the whole. No, the quarterback's not playing defense. Quarterback's not playing special teams, muffing 2 punts.
What I always say is even the towel gets a ring when a team wins. So let's relax with the rings.
Yeah.
Margin accounting gets a ring when a team wins. So.
That's what they brought out with the Warriors on ring night. They had the woman who worked there for 18 years just come on the court and get the ring and everything.
So 75-year-old Marge from accounting's got a ring, but Dan Marino doesn't.
All right, so that's the end of the week there, and that is the end of our content for this evening. Let's go around closing remarks. But are you guys? Do you guys want to? Are you guys going to go on with the pay per view?
I don't know. Do you want it, Dave?
Up to you, senor.
I'm. I can input nothing into that. I will leave. You
You
guys
can
can.
What do
you
you mean
can
you
still
can
hang
yeah, you
you
can input?
and you can still hang out while we watch the Phillies
I
make
can hang out. Oh, I can hang
a
out.
six
Absolutely,
a
but I
6 run
can't.
comeback.
What am I going to input into this? There's a high security alert, and WWE might not
We can
even
exactly. We can get your
exist next
opinion
week.
on
Exactly.
that.
But don't you
Is
want
the
to
blood money worth it? Is the
don't you
blood
want to
money
be on
worth
the
it?
air at least in case there's a no hitter in the World Series? You can be on the air live when it
Absolutely.
happens.
I
There
will.
you
I
go.
will stick 3 outs away. I just got a thing there. Okay. I will. I will absolutely stick around. I don't want any wrestlers dying over there. I am little concerned about it. Go ahead, guys. I'll leave the floor to you, and I will be right here rooting for the Astros. I'm here.
Well, cheater Bregman's up right now, so it's 2 outs. Sons
So,
of bitches.
funny enough, I know we're transitioning from from sports to wrestling. Lamar
Entertainment, sports
Jackson,
entertainment.
Lamar Jackson was at AEW today, and Jericho called him out. I don't know if anything ever happened because then the show started, but he did call him out,
What did
and
he
he was
say?
right. So he was saying that he was
What?
gonna, yeah, he was saying they're in Baltimore. So he's like, oh, and I'll beat whoever. What Ring of Honor former champion because he was basically had an open call out for the Ring of Honor World Championship
Mhm.
for any former Ring of Honor World Champion, whether it's a tag title, a woman's title. He said that, and then he's like, I even beat Lamar Jackson, and then Lamar
Wow.
Jackson was right there in the front. You just see him like,
That's ridiculous. And Jeff Jarrett made an appearance and hit
and,
Darby Allin over the head with a guitar.
and the person that came out to face Chris Jericho was none other than CM Punk's former boy, Colt Boom Boom Cabana,
And
which
that
is like
that's a
CM
shot in
Punk's
the
not
Oh
coming
wait.
back to AEW.
Oh,
that's a shot right
that's
there.
that's when that was when he broke the fourth wall. That's when he first brought up Colt Cabana.
Exactly. When they were
And that
still
Back in the day.
okay,
but
but
that's also a shot saying you ain't coming back, sir. Because we just brought
exactly.
the guy you hate more than anyone right now. We brought him in,
To
so that's
TV.
to
To
TV.
TV.
So what's Punk gonna like? Triple H has already said like no, right? He's
I'm pretty
like
sure they're not
No,
going to want to deal with the headache.
I doubt it, but you never know with Triple H. You never
well,
know.
I when
What's
I saw some
what's
TikTok
best for
video.
business? What's best for business?
That's where I get some of my information on this. But it was Triple H was talking and he said, "Look, we had Punk was on the Fox show, all the parties were there, and nothing ever came from it." But you think he would? I mean, obviously, whatever's best for business is what Hunter is going to do.
If he came back to WWE, it would be nothing more than an attraction or like a Legends run. No titles, well, no world titles anyway. I don't
Yeah,
think. No major storyline, just more of a Legends. I'm back once a month kind of thing. Because again, the entire AEW locker room's calling the guy poison, calling
Yeah.
the guy a head case, calling the guy every name under the book. So, and then they said the fact that they brought out Colt Cabana is a real fucking punch to the nuts. I mean, that's a real punch to the nuts. So, nah,
Yeah, because
I
he
don't, I don't,
just
I don't
I wonder
see
trashed
what
it.
he
him
was thinking
before.
about it.
And I don't think, I mean, him and Hunter didn't have a good relationship. Like, he
No,
didn't like him. Like,
no, they
it was
hated
one of
each
the
other.
few guys that they did not like each other. And yeah, I just don't see it. It would be very, very surprising if he shows up. If he even gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, who knows?
Oof,
I don't see it. I don't see it, but we'll see. Like listen, stranger
I'm
shit's
old.
happen.
I'm tired. That's
Stra-
gonna be his lasting. That's gonna be his legacy. That's the
but
last time that we saw him. I'm
all I'm
old.
saying,
We're go
yeah,
fucking clowns or babies.
but if CM Punk can come back, if he comes back, if he can come back, then why can't we get Demolition in the Hall of Fame, people? Why can't we squash that beef so my favorite tag team get in the goddamn Hall of Fame already? Enough with this nonsense.
Well, we're never getting no one, so
No. Yeah.
Who?
That's his
Owen.
wife's fault, though. That's his wife's fault. Owen Hart. Don't start. Don't start, Steve. She's calling him the Stone Cold
his
murderer.
his his plaque in the Hall of Fame. Almost murdered Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Hey, Owen 316, baby. I just broke your neck.
Which is one of the greatest T-shirts ever. Easily one of the greatest T-shirts ever. So, but other than that, did you hear also the Vince McMahon investigation was complete? They wasted $15.9 million investigating Vince. We don't know what happened. We don't know the results of that investigation. 15, let's just say $16 million to investigate this guy. No one knows what happened. No one knows anything.
Unbelievable.
Do you think that's a Vince thing though? Like the
A
reason we
respect
know that
thing. It's
I don't know. I don't know. That's. I mean, doesn't it have to become public? I don't know. I thought that would be one of those things that has to become public. But no, it doesn't open the way easy for him to come back. He's not coming back. I don't know. So that's a big question. Now that the investigation's over, will he come back? No.
so I
No.
guess since we're not having a just too sweet until 100, something that I heard that is interesting is that now do we ever get to see Triple H inducted into the Hall of Fame? Like individual.
Um. Yeah. Of course.
But when he dies, when he retire, like when he
I
hands it down to whoever.
if Vince allows it, I think this year coming up will be all about Vince. I think he'll be the main event.
That's why.
Um.
But they're saying like the reason that they're saying that maybe we don't is because Vince was never going to induct himself.
No.
It had to be whenever he stepped away. Which had this not happened, maybe he doesn't step away.
Yeah.
But they feel like it's going to be the same thing with Trips because he's not going to want to induct himself. Like okay, yeah, hey, it's going to be about me this year. No, it's going to be about the other guys.
No. No. He still has an ego. He still wants to get in. He still wants to get in as the game by himself. I don't
he
think it's the
should.
same as
Yeah.
Vince. Yeah, I don't think it's the same thing as Vince. I think he wants to get in, and it's easy. You're gonna have Steph could do it, Sean could do it,
Shawn
Kevin Nash
Michaels.
could do it. Any one of the Click members, well, not X Pac, and not Scott Hall, obviously.
No.
All
But
right.
No.
yeah, Kevin Nash. It'll be Shawn Michaels or Stephanie. Those are the two I think that'll do it. One or the other.
I just don't know if we see it happen. At least it's not going to happen anytime soon.
No, I don't think this year. Probably not next year either. I think if Vince is going in this year, it's all Vince. You might have 2 hours of Vince.
He's going to get
That,
inducted by like seven guys.
you know how many people are going to want to come up? Come up and say that shit. So I mean, yeah,
It might just honestly what they should just do is just do like him and just do like a roast of Vince McMahon.
that would be pretty cool, actually.
Yes. And
I wonder how many old territory guys you can get who say he raped my territory and have them come back and say something.
it's got to be on a channel that allows cursing. Got
That's
put it
true.
on HBO or something.
Well, Peacock when it's on
Yeah,
the pay per
Peacock.
view, it's
Peacock?
all good. Yeah, if it's on
Okay.
Peacock, it's all good. The Tales from the Territories. Have you guys been watching that show?
I have
I
not.
haven't.
It's really good. But the best one was it the AWA? Yeah, the AWA with the Ghanis, and then they said that what Vince, the one thing really sneaky Vince did was he went out there and told the guys, hey, bring your wrestlers to New York. I'll put them on TV. It's before Vince had them on the contract. Your Hogans, your all those guys who became famous. I'll put them on the USA Network on TV to showcase the world. And all that was an audition for Vince to see who he wanted to steal. Oh,
Like who
I
who
like
got over
him.
with the crowd?
Exactly. Oh, that guy's over. I'll steal Hulk Hogan. I'm going to steal Jake the Snake. I'm going to. So yeah, I thought that was I thought it was funny only because we know Vince is Vince. So I thought that was pretty goddamn funny.
It's just so crazy how ahead of the game he was.
Yeah,
Like
that's the thing.
He is the whole fucking game. That's what he should be the game. He should be the cerebral assassin, not Triple H. He should be the real cerebral assassin.
Not with
So
what he's doing, but not with what he's been doing. He's not cerebral about anything lately.
he's
no,
beating something else up.
that's crazy. All right, you want to talk about this maybe not possible pay per view going on Saturday?
when is it happening? Saturday.
It's Saturday.
At noon because we love our daytime pay-per-views on Saturdays.
But you got to think about it too. SmackDown was taped, so they have to be over there already.
Yeah,
or at
they were
least
probably
on their
leaving like
way.
yeah, like today is probably when they left.
So now are you hear this report? Are you getting on that plane? I know I'm not. In
I,
case anybody watching doesn't know what's going on, there was a threat, a credible threat by Iran against Saudi Arabia, and one of their targets was the stadium where the wrestling pay-per-view was going to take place on Saturday. That's the major story. If I'm walking up the steps of that plane and I hear that Twitter story, I am going to turn around and walk down the stairs and tell Triple H, "I'll get you on the next one, my friend. I'll do the next one for free because I'm not going on this trip. I can't do it."
Yeah, so PW Insider reported that WWE will be going forward with the event and that the company had security protocols and emergency contingencies in place if something were to happen, but they're hopeful that there will be no issues. And then on November 2nd, which is today, Iran denied the attack claim. So now we're like, where did this
Because
come from?
Iran's really trustworthy, though. They're one of those trustworthy nations that we all love.
very, very.
And how do you what's the contingency plan for them launching missiles into
That's
a
what I'm saying. Like,
stadium?
I'm like, yeah, so what is your thing? Who's going to block them? You're going to put Omas there?
Yeah, like sure they're gonna they could stop maybe a suicide bomb from getting in the stadium, but you're gonna stop a missile launch? I mean, come on now. Hey, but you know what? You got to get that blood money. You got to get that 500 million that pays for the rest of the year for your pay per views and all your fucking T-shirts and everything.
Pretty
Whatever.
much. I mean, we'll see if Triple H ends that and maybe makes it less of like the crown jewel and what's the other one?
The one they just had over in Wales or whatever.
No, they always have two. Isn't it crown jewel and the
Oh, the greatest Royal Rumble, the
Royal Rumble.
biggest Royal Rumble, or whatever.
they
The
had that. I think there's
super.
another one too, but I don't remember. Hopefully they just stick to either going once or maybe every other year.
I don't know. Yeah, they got to stop that shit though. I would anyway. I wouldn't step foot in. Here's another question that was posed real quick before we get to the card. Can the Usos go?
Apparently they are going because they have a match.
Let's say, can the guys with all the legal problems? I guess Saudi Arabia don't care if you have legal problems in this country. You're allowed. They don't give a drunk driving, no problem. Bring them over. We don't care.
Well, I think the issue was with them leaving the country. Like
That's
if the
what
U.S.
that's
was
what I really
okay.
meant. They're okay with them leaving the country. I guess. I guess they did their due diligence and they're allowed to leave.
I guess so. They got
But
the
oh,
green light.
well, now we got to bring it up. Also, I don't know, Steve. I don't know if you've seen it. I did post it. Did everyone catch the Usi, Sami Zayn, Usi?
I did. I saw that.
The dude broke the
Oh
entire
my god.
bloodline. I watched that like 3 times because I was watching it live when it happened and I couldn't stop laughing. Because how often do you see all five guys? Paul Heyman even broke.
Yeah, he was
I
in the
mean,
corner.
he didn't laugh. He was like this, just looking straight ahead. And you don't see it on the screen, but even Solo, when they showed another angle, he was like this. He was shaking his head, and he was laughing too. I said, "How great was that?" That's why it's going to be so great when they turn on him. Sammy's going to have so much fucking backing when they turn on him because I think he's gonna go after the tag titles with Kevin Owens eventually, and they're gonna win. And that's why they're gonna win because they're gonna turn on him. They're gonna beat the shit out of him. He's gonna get Kevin Owens. They're gonna get the tag titles. They're gonna win. Genius. This is a genius storyline they got going on right now.
It's awesome. It's
This is
like
not what
it's
I
one of the
was
most
hearing from
interesting
you guys
things.
about WWE like 4 or 5 months ago. I would
Because it
never
was genius.
hear. It was the most genius idea. I was just like looking online to see if there's any like news. There's rumors that it was going to get moved to Orlando, but that turned out to be BS. But I don't know how I stumbled upon this. But Shawn Michaels got how much freaking money for his last match?
Oh
Who?
God.
What was the last match? There was the
The
Kane and
disaster
That hard.
in
Undertaker.
Saudi.
That was in Saudi too.
Yeah. You know how much Shawn Michaels got for this? If this ITR wrestling is correct, $3 million.
That sounds about right
Sounds about right.
to get out of
Don't
retirement.
but don't forget though too that that's his Saudi money. This really
Right.
isn't Vince saying here's $3 million come out.
That's okay.
This is the Saudis saying, hey, we're gonna give you whatever extra money you put a show together. So they could I throw that extra money out there for whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
It's not in Vince's pocket, and they got no hit in the World Series.
That's
That was
awesome.
it.
It's over.
Wow.
That's all right. When the Phillies were hosting the World Series trophy, no one will remember this game.
They will not be doing that. They will.
So
Oh,
game six, they're
what
gonna
a
be doing it in
depleting
Houston.
feeling to be no hit in the World Series. Ha ha, Bryce Harper. Ha ha ha.
What a great feeling is it to be in the World Series in general?
They're gonna win tomorrow.
Yeah. What do you know about that
Phillies are
recently?
gonna win tomorrow.
09,
Oh,
not too long
nine. That
ago.
was, it was 13 years ago already. Time flies.
It's still there.
Look at these fucking orange cheaters. I hate every one of them. Every one of them. Like they make me sick to my stomach to even look at them. All right, let's get back to something more interesting.
Something
Uh,
more important that's not cheating.
exactly. We don't allow cheating in the WWE. At least I don't think
Yeah.
so. Cheating is a no-no in professional wrestling. All right, so let's just jump on this card real quick because it's like 11:30, right? We all have to go to bed. Well, I know I do.
Yes.
Steve doesn't go to bed. Steve doesn't sleep at all. Steve's on
It's
that
overrated.
whiskey. He's on that
Sleep
whiskey
on
high.
dead.
I swear
Yes.
to God, I'm not even joking, everybody. I wake up in the middle of the night and just check to see what time it is, and there's that little green dot next to Steve's watch. I'm like, why is this guy still awake? What are you doing, man? Go to bed. All right, we'll start off first
He's
of all.
gambling on those volleyball and
Yeah,
baseball matches
Australian
from Japan.
Australian volleyball
cornhole,
tournaments going on.
cornhole.
Oh, they're opening up the like they're doing the pickleball stuff. They did the men's, now they're doing the women's pickleball.
What the hell
The
is pickleball?
You haven't seen pickleball?
No, what the hell is
I
pickleball?
almost got into a fight at my son's baseball thing because of pickleball. It's like a mini tennis court, and it's like a
It's like a
plastic,
racket.
right? It's two rackets, and it's like a plastic yellow ball, and I don't know why they call it pickleball, but there was a pickleball tournament going on, pickle fucking ball tournament going on during a when my son had a game, and I parked. The lady's like, "No, you can't park here. It's especially for the pickleball tournament." I said, "What the hell is pickleball?" And she was like, "That right there." I said, "Lady, no, nobody cares about pickleball." And now 6 months later, they're proving like pickleball tournaments and leagues are jumping up. They had a whole special on ESPN today, the Women's Pickleball League. I shit you not.
Now I have to Google this when we get out of here so I can see what the hell.
It does look like a little bit fun though. It's older people. It's not. I don't see a lot of young kids playing it, but they say that the older people, because it's a smaller tennis court, that's basically what it is.
Boss, you want to do us a favor and create a little banner that says "Crown Jewel,"
Sure, I can do that for you. Let me
just so
get
people know what we're
here.
talking about.
Look at Dave put on the producer hat there for a second.
Yeah.
I just don't have access to do it anymore yet. So
Why not? All right, there
because
you go.
I don't have the login
WWE
information.
Crown Jewel, where
should say-
everybody might die.
I should say 2022 also.
Sorry.
And you got to put preview and predictions just in case.
2022. What do I got to do? Preview and predictions.
You got to do this
Why?
right, boss. You're in our territory now.
So we do previews.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
By the way, my idea, I don't know if you want to do it, Steve. I don't know if Eric wants to do it or not, but after the 100, I want to do the CM Punk press conference.
Let's
I
do
want
it.
to do it. I want to do it. And I'm gonna get a big bag of like sodas and muffins, and wear a towel, and just start going off on people. There's gonna be everybody on the network though. Like I'm gonna go off on Gil for no reason.
Yes.
I'm gonna go off on Nardo, who I never met. I'll go off on her a little bit. It'd be fun.
Working with children here.
Bunch of
Yeah,
fucking
that's it.
kids.
All these so-called EVPs like Keith and Rodriguez. I'll pick on everybody. These so-called show hosts. Go off on everybody. All right, let's get to this card. Because this might be the last time we see these people alive. So
Yeah.
it's very important that we talk about them. First off, we're going to start the women's tag title. New champions were crowned this past week. By the way, Alexa Bliss and Asuka. They are getting their rematch. Well, the Damage Control is getting their rematch for the tag titles. Damage Control is Dakota Kai and Io, whatever her name is now. What's her
Io
last
Sky.
name? Is it Sky? Yeah, I know Shirai, Sky, whatever. They lost the titles Monday night. They got their quick rematch in the Death Valley. That we're gonna call that from now on, Death Valley, because people may die in this pay per view. Dave.
Oh, so
Are they getting their titles back like 3 days later, or are we gonna have the Alexa Bliss still champion.
I just don't understand that. I guess that's one of the few things that Triple H has done that I don't understand the booking on that. Why bring these girls back randomly and then have them beat Damage Control when I thought the whole purpose was to build up Damage Control. So I don't know. Maybe it's just to confuse us. I'm gonna say Alexa Bliss and Asuka retain here. Just because
I
I
agree
don't.
with you.
What would be the point of having them lose? Yeah, like you said, a couple days later.
I agree. Plus, they're all going to be wearing their full body unitards, so they're not allowed to show their necks in Saudi Arabia. So that's not a good look for
What?
anybody.
Yeah, they don't go out with the regular uniform. They go out like straight up, like all covered
They have
spandex.
to have their neck to their ankles. They have to be completely covered. You never seen that before?
I guess I didn't see the. I never. I've seen that, but I haven't seen the wrestlers
Oh,
wearing
you
that.
really should check out the pay per view because it's very interesting seeing all
Is
these
that 12
all
noon?
these
12 p.m.
sheiks like sitting around the ring, and they're all probably worth $1 billion a piece.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's what they
and
are.
it's so funny because it doesn't look like like when you see like WrestleMania where it's just like straight lined up chairs. It kind of looks like it's like little lounges like all around the ring,
Ah,
like just like
It's
little
all the men are wearing white, like the white. They all look like I said, like sheiks. But then you do have your kids wearing the t-shirts or wearing their
okay.
stuff, or and the kids are all going crazy. But most of the men are just like almost like a Japanese wrestling thing, where all they sit there like this. They don't move. They
Huh.
just stare straight ahead. So it's almost like that. But it's still pretty interesting because when the crowd gets going, the crowd does get going. But they like their Undertakers. They like their Goldbergs.
Like
Unfortunately,
That's why you get Brock.
yeah. That's why Brock is back just to do this pay per view. By the way.
the odds are favorite that the Alexa Bliss and who is it?
Asuka.
Oscar.
Asuka 71% chance to win this
Yo, look
match.
at that. Look at
Oh,
this guy
minus
busting out.
See, this is why you're here. Give us
why
Minus
you're
the
here.
odds.
250. Minus
Minus
250.
250.
Because he's a degenerate. He's trying to. Can I gamble on the crown jewel this week?
I sure can.
All right. Next up, the men's tag team championship for the undisputed titles. We got the Usos, the Bloodline, taking on the Brawling Brutes. I think this was pretty easy. I don't see the Usos losing anytime soon until they fight Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, which will probably be at WrestleMania. So I am going with the Usos to win this one.
Same here. I think they're gonna come out and feel pretty oozy, so they should
Definitely
get
love
that dub.
Very Usy. By the way, I asked to make me a shirt that said honorary Us. Also, I'm hoping I
Ah.
can get that by the 100th. Also,
Are you
I'm
gonna
gonna
get the TT on it?
yes, I'm gonna have several wardrobe changes for the 100th. By the way, and a bow tie, and I told Eric you should get a tuxedo jacket and cut the sleeves off Hulk Hogan style.
Oh my God.
Hogan style.
I don't know if he's gonna do it, but we'll see.
Oh,
Next
the
up,
Usos with a 91% chance of victory.
see, but we know what we're
That,
talking
that's
about.
where you get. That's where you put all your money in. But wait,
Yes.
it does. It depends because if they lose by disqualification, then you lose your money.
That's
That's
true.
true. That is
Yes.
true. It has
Yes.
to be a 91% chance to retain the titles. That would be the bet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, that's you
Yeah.
gotta watch that underlining bullshit that Vegas tries to pull on you.
Mhm.
Next up, we have the Raw Women's Championship, a last woman standing match, which is very interesting. Bianca Belair versus Bailey. I know how much Dave loves him some Bailey. So, Dave, what are you thinking about this one?
Yeah, I love Bailey so much. Like she is. It's like her and Trish Stratus all time.
Neck and neck, right?
Yeah,
You can
neck
never
and
decide.
Um.
Hey,
Here's
where's
where
Trish back?
No.
no, she just
I thought
came
she
out
was
for like a couple like house shows,
Yeah, how
and
show
that
she
was
did.
it.
I thought the house shows were the stepping stone.
Well, she hasn't stepped on the TV yet.
There's
They're
no
So,
stone.
they're
yet,
mainly to
alright.
like test things out, so I don't know if they're
Yeah.
testing to see if like Trish is still over because I mean you don't have to
Oh,
test that.
please. Come on. She's over. Come on. She's over. As long as there's men in that audience, she's over. What are you
That's
talking
true,
about?
She's over the hill. No, never. Trish still
Yeah,
looks
right.
amazing.
I know that. I knew you were just saying that. It's no way.
No, love you, Trish. Just in case it does get out there to her. She's
We'll
got
She
it.
boost
watch.
this to Canada. We'll
She watches. She watches.
Canadian boost.
I'll say one thing though, Trish, a little too skinny for me. Just you like go like 2 for $6 Whoppers at Burger King, and we'll be good. We'll be good. Just a little too skinny for me now, but all right. Still
Oh, is
hot.
she?
I'm
She
not
lost.
gonna.
Okay.
She's very skinny now. Very skinny. I like that little chub she had back in the day. So, but whatever. So Dave, I'm assuming you're going with Bianca Belair then.
I don't know. See here, I thought Bailey should have won the ladder match at Extreme Rules, and when she didn't, I was like, okay, I guess this isn't going anywhere. But now they're fighting again, so I'm gonna go Bailey.
I'm gonna go Bianca. Actually, I don't think she loses yet.
No, who do you think beats her then?
Charlotte or one of the. I
Trish.
think. Yeah, I think someone like that's gonna come back. Your Becky or your Charlotte probably because they one of the four horsewomen have to have a belt at all times. God forbid you have one of these new women.
I mean, none of them have had it for a minute now.
Don't forget what's her name's coming soon. The NXT, the one with the big hiney, Nikita Lyon.
Nikita Line.
Rock. Rock
Can't
Star.
She's
wait
coming.
for her.
Oh, Rock's daughter, the
Hey,
first
Rock's
fourth
daughter cut
generation.
a pretty good promo the other day on NXT. I was surprised. I was like,
Yeah,
That
oh,
wasn't
she
bad at
wasn't
all.
bad.
oh,
Yeah, she wasn't
I
bad.
saw like some of the comments in the video were saying that she should have just showed up and won the title.
calm down.
They said, well,
To be
if
to
what
be
was
your
the,
girlfriend, to be
Yeah,
your
Mandy
girlfriend,
Rose, come on now.
to what?
To
be
be
your
Mandy
girlfriend.
Rose?
I, who's my girlfriend? Oh no,
Yeah.
Mandy Rose.
Mandy Rose is the one that you like.
She's the
yeah,
champion in NXT.
I like Mandy and there's some others. There's several others. That's why. But they were what were they saying about it? If damn, I can't think of her name. What was the Asian girl from 15 years ago? Who she won the title of very first match.
Oh, AJ Lee, not AJ.
No,
no.
Asian?
Yeah. Asian
First match.
WWE.
No, that was what's her name. Wow, now I have my drawing a blank now. This chick who just went to AEW, she won her first match.
Oh, Paige.
Paige, she won her first match. Who else won
No,
her
but
first
she's not
match?
Asian. No, this
I
is
know.
like 15 um,
No, she's not Asian.
wrestler one title first
15 years ago.
match.
Asian. I can't think of
My
a.
God,
an
what
Asian
is her
champion.
name?
Gail Kim.
Gail Kim. Holy crap! Yes.
Oh, Gail Kim. Wow, man, that's really throwing it back there.
I said like 15 years ago. When was Gail Kim?
She
but she
won
had,
the
like,
title in her
she's-
first match.
Yeah,
Wow,
she's
I
also
didn't know that.
Canadian. So there's that. I just looked up. She's Canadian.
And married to Mr. Robert Irvine.
Okay. Yeah. Gail Kim Irvine. All right. Well, anyway, they said if she could do it back then, why can't the Rock's daughter do it now? But they got a new. It's not. They didn't have the whole deal with how big the NXT, how big they wanted it to be back then, as it is now.
Not only that, but you also don't want her to get off on the wrong foot where people are just going to be like, oh, she
Locker
only
room
won
stuff.
because she's The Rock's daughter and all that other stuff. So I'm pretty sure she also wants to build herself up.
And I love the fact that she's part of a faction. Like right off the bat, it takes the pressure off for a little bit, lets her ease into it, and get used to it. Because yeah, like you said, see how much pressure she's a first, fourth generation superstar now.
That's insane.
Oh my God!
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot
Generation
of
after generation. That's crazy.
Yeah,
yeah, it's a lot
it's
of
already
pressure
enough
to
that
the
it's The
fourth,
Rock, but yeah, the fourth, you have to like make your mark.
And she,
And
yeah, you
Eventually,
either take
she might be
off
on the
and
bloodline.
branch out elsewhere or continue the legacy.
She might be on the bloodline in a year. You don't know. She might move up with the big boys, be with them, be with the family. I think it would have been an awesome stable to have all the Samoans in there.
Oof. Oh
Was it
man,
a-
but see, then I feel like, man,
They
they
gotta-
should have brought her in maybe a little bit sooner, just to like, because if we do get WrestleMania, Rock, and Roman, and she's the one that cost The Rock the match, like,
Oof.
and joins the bloodline, like, if she acknowledges Roman, like, it's just a lot.
Oh, that sounds like a really intriguing storyline, though.
Yeah, I think it would work. You divorced my mother and married some other chick. Hey, you want to get deep? I want to get deep. You got kids with these new
Hey,
women, these little girls running around, but I'm your first daughter. Blah blah blah.
look at the storylines Triple H was involved in, going to people's houses and whatnot, throwing them
Kate,
through their own
Katie
windows.
Vick.
Katie Vick, probably the worst storyline in the history of professional wrestling.
Such good shit.
Well, I got Bianca. You got Bailey. That's a good bit. What's the odds on that one, Steve? Come on, Steve. You got to throw
I
the odds out there.
I lost it. Hold on, because I
Oh,
was trying to look up the rest of Gail Kim's name. Hold on. Yep. I'll find it. Go ahead,
all right.
continue.
Well, the next one is probably the
I
worst
found
match.
it. Bianca Belair with a 74% chance to win.
Wow.
There you go.
That's a
74.
Bailey is plus 188.
Put your money on Beta, guys.
Next match, probably the worst match in the history of professional wrestling.
Oh my god.
Braun Strowman versus Omos. I mean, this is. I think the crowd's going to eat this or not because it's two monsters. It's like Godzilla versus Kong. This match. That's basically what it. And that's not a racial thing, so everyone can shut up. But it's almost like Godzilla versus Kong. So it's just two big. I don't know. I think Braun Strowman should win this one, but because Omos has really done nothing with his career so far, I think he has to win this one. So I'm going to go with Omos to win this.
Why is it Omos and not Omos?
Either one you want. It can be Edward James almost
Well,
for like
why-
He's
no, I
fucking terrible. He's fucking terrible. He's almost getting fired because he
Wait,
sucks
and
so bad.
MVP, like from MVP back in the day, MVP?
Yep.
Is in
Yes.
his corner? Okay.
Yep. I'm going with Omos because he needs this more than Strowman does.
Yeah, but I mean, do you want Strowman to get? Well, it's a single. You know what? I'm gonna go. I'm pretty sure there's a big plus on this one. I'm gonna go that this match ends in a draw.
Ooh, you're going with a draw. I like that though.
They don't have that
In a-
option. So
You're calling a schmaz, so to speak.
I'm getting that plus 2,000 right now on it.
yeah. Braun Strowman has an 82% chance of victory in this one.
Wow.
Because I just saw it's a singles match. So if they want to keep both guys strong, I would say they wouldn't have either one of them lose. But I mean, who
Beat the
knows
shit
if
out
that
of each other.
happens. Yeah, they should start. They should destroy the entire ringside to make this match interesting. Because if they just stick to being in ring, this is gonna be horrible. This is gonna be hard to watch.
They should fight, open the show in the ring, go fight backstage, and like every match, after every match, you show them backstage fighting until the end, and then something happens because no one wants to see this match. Maybe the little kids in Saudi Arabia do, but that's probably about it. Because they're horrible, both of them. Well, Strowman's okay. He's at least athletic. Omos is
Yeah.
he's a big goon. He's the
Giant
I guess-
Gonzalez.
yeah. I guess he'd be Godzilla, right? He'd be Godzilla because Godzilla's stiffer because he has little arms.
7-3. Holy crap.
Yeah, he's a monster. Him next to AJ Styles is one of the funniest tag teams you ever seen in your life. It was ridiculous.
But his name is a fucking nightmare. To
Yeah,
Tolulupe Omebehin.
that's why it's
His
called
real name.
Omos. That's why it's called Omos.
Do you guys ever see Horrible Bosses too?
Yes.
They drive in and the Indian guy is just call me Ben because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like Haminajaj or something. And when he's trying to explain, he's like Haminajaj. That name's a fucking nightmare. I'm just going to call you Ben.
Next up, Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in a steel cage match. I think this one's obvious too. Dave, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna go Cross on this one, even though Drew didn't get it last time. But I think you just got to go with Cross here.
I do too. I don't think he wins fairly, but I think he wins.
Yeah, something fishy might happen with Scarlett, or maybe this is where we get Bray Wyatt come out because he's supposed to be there. In what role, we don't know.
And did you see the latest rumor, Dave, too? Because now supposedly Bray Wyatt is following somebody, and he's calling him Uncle Howdy Uncle Howdy looks an awful lot like what's his name with the eye who just left AEW again.
Oh,
Malachi
Alistair
Black,
Black.
Alistair Black. He looks an awful lot like Alistair Black. So I don't know if
Huh.
Alistair Black's going to be the leader of this new, and Bray Wyatt's just a pawn or a soldier. But Uncle Howdy's here now.
Howdy
Interesting.
doody.
I don't know if I hate that, but
I could be wrong. We might be. Old Bray keeps saying now is I'm just a slave.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just, I'm
yeah.
just a spoke in the wheel. And then he said Uncle Howdy, and then they showed a picture of the guy, and they put him and Alistair Black next to each other, and it's like, well, yeah, they actually do really look
Hmm.
much alike. So that
Hmm.
could be interesting. Definitely a swerve.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't see
This
that
one's the
coming.
closest odds of any of the matches so far. It's got Drew McIntyre with a 60% chance to win.
Ooh.
Nah, I'm going carrying cross.
That's
You
close
can't you,
there.
you,
That's
you
almost like a
can't
pick 'em though.
you can't bring the guy back and have him lose like that quickly. So I don't know. All right, we'll move on because the next one here we go again. Here's Kong versus Godzilla Part Two. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, which everyone's actually been wanting to see this match for a really long time. I haven't. I don't really care.
Well,
Can
I
Uh,
like what they've done
I
with it. Like the build-up has been pretty. It's been
oh, the build-up's
interesting.
good and everything, but it's Lesnar's just spear, suplex, kick, punch, elbow, done.
He tells people out sometimes.
We'll see.
I,
I'm like in 2015 now in my rewatch, but I'm way into where I've never seen any of this stuff before. But I'm just like I didn't see Brock Lesnar during that era and how he used to like ragdoll John Cena, and I didn't see all that. So like I'm watching now. I'm like I bypass a lot of stuff, but when Brock Lesnar just comes out and he just annihilates people, it's just for me watching it 7 years in the rear, it's a little bit different. But it's like he's I'm talking about 2015 now. He's that menacing guy that it wasn't like he when he came back and he didn't like look around at the crowd to see the reaction. Let me see. He grabbed John Cena, slung him over his shoulder, and just did the F5. But that was all that he ever did. Like he just it was ruthless. From that perspective, if it wasn't
It's
panning,
even worse now,
catering
Steve.
to the
It's even
crowd.
worse now. Like him
But
and Roman, the first couple times were just finishers. They just hit finishers on each other for 10 minutes,
that's
and then that was
terrible.
the end of the match. Oh, Goldberg
Well, that
too.
was that was Vince though.
Yeah, like, look, you hit your finisher, I hit my finisher. I'll do three of mine. You do suplex, spear. Match is over. It's like, dude, really? I didn't need to see that match
And that was the
at
main
all.
event. That would be the main event of the
Yeah,
pay-per-views. So it was bad. Like what we've got in the last couple two matches of them has been a lot better than what we got a while. But I think this one's gonna be good because at least Bobby Lashley isn't like I don't know Seth Rollins or trying to think of someone else or Dean Ambrose where we know that they're gonna get ragdolled.
yeah,
You know
that's
he
true.
can do some damage to Lesnar as well.
That's true. By the way, it just came across my phone. Christian Javier, who started the game for the Astros, he no hit for six. His parents told him he's going to pitch a no hitter today.
Shut up.
Oh my god.
That's what he said. He just said my parents told me I was going to no hit them today, so he went out there and threw six no hit innings.
Oh yeah, his parents. What
Parents are,
did they?
his parents are cheaters too. I bet his father cheated on his mother. His mother cheated on his father.
God, I
Fucking
was gonna say,
cheating
what
parents.
his parents got like the batting lineup for.
Yeah, they probably cheated for him. They were probably the ones sending the signals. Nah, you see, they were the ones sending the signals out. They know. They know how to cheat, right? Next up, we got a six-man tag. The OC, the returning original club. Gals and Anderson are back.
Brock Lesnar has a 77% chance to win this match. Sorry.
Oh
I
wait, did we pick it? We didn't pick anybody, Tim.
we didn't pick anybody. I'm gonna go Lesnar.
Okay, that's why I missed it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll go Lesnar here too since Lashley won last time.
yeah, and plus Lesnar hasn't won in a while in a big match.
Yeah, you're right.
Roman fucked him up a couple times, so yeah, I'm gonna go Lesnar. Yeah. So the next one is the OC, AJ Styles, Gals and Anderson taking on the Judgment Day, who consist of Finn Balor, uh, the wonderful, awesome Dominic Mysterio and
The
Damian
modern
Priest.
day Eddie Guerrero, get it right.
That's right. I'm sorry, the modern day Eddie Guerrero with the worst haircut in the history of wrestling. Um, this is actually a hard one to pick. But I'm going to go Judgment Day. I think they finally hit their stride, and they gotta,
Finally winning matches.
you gotta keep them winning to keep that the fact that they're a dangerous faction alive. I think they're going to win, so I'm going to go Judgment Day.
Um, I feel like every time I pick Judgment Day, they somehow lose. It doesn't matter what it is, they lose. So I'm going reverse jinx here. Going with the OC.
Uh-huh. Okay. OC with a 67% chance of winning.
Ooh, that's the second one,
This
second
is
closest.
close.
Yeah, it's close.
And well, finally, the main event, which I don't know, Steve, you heard about this yet? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't.
I did.
Ro-
Because I was looking up stuff, and
yeah.
there's a rumor online that Logan Paul's brother is going to be there.
Oh, really? I wouldn't see why.
Jake.
I don't know. I don't know which one's which anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, I had to look it up.
Come on.
Jake just fought a boxing match, right?
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
fought Silva and won.
Yeah. What does that say about Silva, dude? You better hide for the rest of your life. I don't ever want to see his face again. Listen to one of the Paul brothers. Yeah, Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul, an Extreme Rules match for the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Intercontinental European fucking tag women's title hardcore version 3 belt. Um, if Logan Paul wins this match, I am quitting professional wrestling.
No 100th episode.
I'm walking away before the 100th episode. I will never discuss it ever again.
We lost Tim. Where's the 100, Steve? I don't know where Tim went, but
The show will
pretty
die
sure
at
Logan
99.
Paul.
It'll die at 99. I will get an injunction, so the 100th will never happen because I am that upset. No, I just don't see it happening. Like I said, Roman's going to lose. He's going to lose at WrestleMania, and he's got to lose to a Cody Rhodes or that type of guy. But Logan Paul has been extremely impressive, and I will give him his props for his 2 matches because the dude put in the work, and that work is courtesy of the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. Steve,
What-
Steve.
not Bret
How,
Hart.
how
Shawn
does
Michaels.
how can he tell where he's looking?
What are we talking about?
Shawn Michaels.
He just closed one eye. What are
Shawn
you
Michaels,
talking
you like
Yeah.
look at him like this.
Like that, that's all. So yeah,
Oh,
I
That's
think
what he wears the hat
of course,
for. He's
of course,
wearing
he's
the hat.
gonna be like he's like teacher's pet now.
well, his brother can show up if he wants to, but Roman Reigns has the bloodline. Notice how we don't have Solo mentioned any of these matches, so I mean he could probably be at ringside, if not
In
just
2
the
weeks, he'll
Usos.
probably super. Shawn Michaels will show up at this event and super kick Logan Paul.
I hope so. That'd be awesome. So I'm
Can't be
going
friends
Roman. I'm going Roman, and I don't even think it should be close, but I guess for the showman, they have to make it a little close. Ronda Rousey.
Now I hope Logan Paul goes for a big moment and he botches it. He falls off the ropes or something trying to do a.
So by the way, Ronda Rousey says if she was booking this show, Logan Paul would beat Roman Reigns for these titles. And my response to that was, "That's why you're not fucking booking the show, stupid Ronda Rousey. Shut your mouth, Ronda Rousey, and move on with your life." So yeah, Roman Reigns, 100%. Steve, 100%.
Yeah, there should be 100%. There
better
should be
eff-
like no.
It is not 100%. It is very
Oh
close.
my god.
It's close.
Well, remember
Well, the
because you
night-
also have the DQ finishes. I guess that's why it's not 100%.
Okay. It better be not under. It has to be over 98. Gotta be at least 98.
91.
No, that's too much.
91.
That's too much credit to
Um,
Logan Paul.
Yeah. Yep. Biggest
don't-
underdog.
You think that they would do something because normally the celebrities don't lose. Even though I don't know if we still consider Logan a celebrity since he has a signed contract now.
He
Do
hasn't
we-
lost in 3 years, Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Nope.
So do we think? Is it possible that Logan wins by DQ? Kind of like how
Ultimately-
Seth beat. Well, how Seth I guess beat Roman because Roman
Oh,
hit
and
him with
Sean
the
super
chair.
kicks Logan Paul. He's gonna win. He's Roman's gonna win by DQ.
Shaw's not going.
Yeah, Sean's like,
Shaw's not making that trip.
No way.
No,
Sean's
no
like, I'm
way.
staying over here in NXT. You
Yeah,
keep
he
me
ain't
in
making that.
Orlando.
Yeah, the only way he gets disqualified is if he like does it on purpose.
Yeah, which I can maybe see happening because everyone's like talking about like how be careful of Logan. Who now apparently Logan has what is it? Steel nails in his knuckles or something like that.
Something ridiculous, yeah, because he knocked out Jay
What is
Uso,
this,
or
Lex
whatever.
Luger all over again with the
Yeah,
bionic
that's
elbow?
Yeah.
exactly what they're going for with it. So they're like, oh, be careful of this, and that. Like if Logan could beat him, which I don't think it should be close. He'll probably have like his couple of moments, I would say. But Roman
Couple
should
big
just
spots.
raw dog this guy.
Exactly. 91% my ass.
But if they want to keep Logan looking good and still with that win streak, why not, have him win by DQ? Where Roman is the one that like just gets frustrated and starts beating him with a chair or something.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll accept that. But I don't want Roman to lose, even if like an Uso interferes, and that's kind of. I want him to like go crazy and beat the shit out of Logan Paul, kind of disqualification. That'd be much more better for the character, and you can accept that loss.
Yeah.
But he hasn't lost at all in 3 years. Is Logan Paul going to be that guy? Right? No DQs, no pins, no submissions, nothing. And
Yeah,
you're
no,
gonna hand
nothing.
you're gonna hand that to Logan Paul of all people?
That can't be. I think Triple H is not. I think he's going for that.
Yeah, I don't think there's a chance at a DQ even. I'm at 100% Roman.
That yeah. I haven't kept
Yeah,
up
I'll,
with
I'll
it. It
go
doesn't make
Roman.
sense for
You know why? Because you could pull off a Logan Paul. Like he's gonna give him a good match. As long as he gives him a good match and it's not a squash, Logan Paul will walk out looking okay. Plus, he's gonna do some high spots. He's gonna do some fucking somersaults, some backflips, some stupid moves. And it'll come off good. And Roman will be like, "Oh my god, I don't underestimate this guy. This guy's actually pretty good. I have to step it up." And then he'll win. And then Logan will get the respect and all that kind of bullshit.
Yeah, he'll probably give Roman a super kick. I'll put a plus on that.
uh,
You should check the sports book. See what kind of bets they take. Because what do they use? They use Sportsbook. Which ones do they use? WWE,
DraftKings.
DraftKings.
Yeah, they do like free pools, which I sometimes do, and occasionally essentially I think it's like $10,000. Let's say the pot, and if you get like, I'll ask like 7 random questions. If you get all 7, then you get like a part of the pot with whoever else gets it. So like if 1,000 people got 7 right, then they split that pot.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, I might try it this week.
They have that. I think I've won like, I forgot for what pay-per-view it was. I won like $25 that I got like
Nice.
8 out of 9. But then every other one that I've done, I've been complete garbage because it's like I know you've seen AEW, how John Moxley, greatest AEW world champion, does the what is it? Not it's not the dirty deeds anymore. It's the what the hell's his special move? Is the finisher? It's the DDT. What does he call it?
Same old shit.
Well, whatever he calls it,
The
let's say
SOS. Same old shit.
whatever it's called, he has that. But then he also does a move called the Death Rider, and it's a DDT. But he just like lifts him up higher. It is ridiculous. And one of the things was, oh, how many shit, I forgot what his, I gotta look it up. How many of like his special move is he gonna do, which is the normal name. But he ends up doing one, but then in the second one that he does, they call it the Death Rider, and because of that, it didn't count as 2. It counted like he just did 1.
So it's the same move, just a little higher.
really?
Yeah.
That sounds like John Moxley's MO. He does the exact same thing, only slightly different, and it's supposed to be world changing.
Uh,
Stop.
the Astros just went to Twitter and put "How we feeling, Houston?" and they spelled "feeling" PHEELING.
So they're cheaters and they can't spell.
Whoever's running that
That was very
account.
clever. Phillies
It wasn't clever at
feeling.
all. You just poking the bear, and the bear's name is Bryce Harper.
Hit him
Oh
in the
my god.
face. Hit him in the mouth.
I can't wait to
What?
that hair flip when he hits the
Ugh,
and
disgusting. Oh
and the.
my god, I fucking hate him.
Now we got to make sure. I'm gonna make sure I share this on the Just Too Sweet page, just so we can make sure everyone gets our picks and our predictions, since we're
I'll
cheating
cut it.
and not doing the
I'm.
Just Too Sweet show.
I'll cut it so it could, so nobody has to like fast forward stuff.
Oh, nice! I know you can do that.
So you
You got
know
the skills. You got the
we
skills to
got
pay the
we got the
bills.
skills at Pop Culture Pros.
Sweet. That's good. Then we can post them on there, and it'll all be good. Dave looks perplexed.
Dave is there very perplexed.
Because I'm here trying to figure out what the name of this stupid move is. Because it's the Death Rider, but then there's another name for it.
The same old shit.
Now it looks like they just call it the Death Rider.
It's called the I Suck.
I mean, he's a three-time world champion.
It's
Wow.
called
World champion.
it's called I am the worst book champion ever.
Paradigm shift. That's what it is. Paradigm shift.
A pile of shit. That's what it
Pretty
sounds like.
much. It's a DDT, but one he just regular DDT like he does the dirty deeds, but the Death Rider he lifts him up a little higher. Well, he actually lifts him up, and then comes down.
But it was a two handed, right? The paradigm shift,
Yeah,
the
but
dirty deeds, whatever it was two hands though, not just the regular Jake the Snake DDT.
yeah, it's the same old John Moxley.
Exactly. Just like he was the same guy in WWE, just he's not wearing a hazmat suit like Vince wanted him to or something. Whatever the fuck that storyline was. This is good shit.
Wait, is this Oh my god. You know that website change.org where they have all the petitions and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like you sign petitions, whatever. So this petition, I was looking up the name of the move, and this petition is to ban Jonathan Moxley's use of the paradigm shift to protect all Elite Wrestling's roster. And it says, "My name is Mark Sterling." Is this like a what the hell is this? What is
he's
this?
in AEW. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Mark Sterling is who?
He's like a manager in AEW.
Oh my god! It says, "My name is Mark Sterling. I serve as legal counselor for Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Please hear my message and continue to stand with my client through this very trying time. All Elite Wrestling was officially announced on January 1st, 2019. 1 week later, they unveiled a vision to deliver a golden age of professional wrestling, new and authentic. My client believed in that vision. Wrestling fans around the globe believed in that. This is hilarious.
It is.
Um,
It's
and it
MJF,
says,
baby.
it says, next line, all Elite Wrestling fans deserve Maxwell Jacob Friedman as world champion. Jonathan Moxley poses threats to the reputation and vision of All Elite Wrestling. Furthermore, Moxley poses an imminent physical threat to both my client and the entire All Elite roster of wrestling." And it talks about how he's unstable and all that stuff. And there's 4,568 people who have signed.
That is so funny.
I'm gonna sign. I'm gonna
I'll
sign.
send you the link.
So like, I'm definitely gonna sign that.
You gotta put it
Wait.
on Just Too Sweet page.
There's a website, and it's Maxwell Friedman, MaxwellJacobFriedman.com.
That's why he's
And
the best.
I'm afraid that they're not gonna have him beat Moxley now.
Wait, what is like? This is all connected and it takes you to his website, and it says he's better than you, and you know it. The youngest and hottest star in professional wrestling.
He's a generational talent.
Look at this. Send
One
all
for the
this over
generation.
to Mrs. Ant.
Oh, I will. He has nothing against Mac. He doesn't like Kenny Omega.
Oh, okay, okay,
Kenny Omega is his mortal enemy.
I
For
got you.
some odd reason, I pointed out to him the
He's
other
a
day.
bad
I was
worker,
like,
must be.
I pointed out to him. I was like, oh, you like Carrie, I like Kenny. Like, what, there's something there.
I'm not gonna say a word. I'm not gonna say a word.
But
Is that the whole? That's the main event, right?
That's it. That's the
That's
wrap
it.
up.
12
So
p.m.
I
Saturday.
wonder what they're thinking, because I saw a couple of pages saying And I also came across that they were saying that the brother might show up. But I also came across the website that I used to use like way back in the day, like in the '90s, and they're still there for wrestling news and stuff. And it's called Raja. I don't know, you guys have ever heard it? RAJAH.com. I
No.
would go to that thing every single. They would have the rundown of all the tapings and all this stuff, and I would read it. And I always every week I'd say, no, I'm not watching. I'm not going to read the spoilers for the Raw tapings, and I go and read it anyway. Damn it!
Steve was giving away the script before it happened.
Freddie Prince
Nitro
Jr.
style.
says he is certain MJF will defeat John Moxley at Full Gear.
Oh
I
yeah, a
heard.
little more wrestling news too. Supposedly Billy Corgan is talking to Triple H about joining the NWA and WWE joining together.
Ooh.
Now I don't know who's in the NWA, but okay, whatever.
Who
Opens a
currently
few
is
doors.
there?
Opens a few doors.
Well, I mean, maybe it could just be like the Impact thing they did,
Maybe.
which you saw that, right? That it finally like came out why Billy wasn't there at
No,
the
I did.
DX. So
Oh yeah. Because Tony Khan.
he wanted that Tony Khan wanted it to be mentioned that he was coming for like he's from AEW, and WWE like thought about it and they're like, yeah, no, they just
And that,
couldn't come to terms with it.
and I also heard he was going to come though. Anyway, and Tony Khan's like, well, if they're not going to say it, then you can't go. I think it was that kind
Yeah.
of mutual thing.
I just looked up NWA, and is Trevor Murdoch is their champion.
Trevor Murdoch from the
Yeah.
fucking '90s.
Trevor Murdoch is their world champion, and he's had the title for 141 days.
Wow.
I'm looking at Trevor Murdoch from back in the day. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Tyrus. He's a former
That's
WWE guy, right?
That's
Uh,
Brodus Clay.
okay, he's the world television champion. Some dude named Homicide is the junior heavyweight champion. Those are the only ones I. Tyrus is, and somebody named Camille is the women's champion.
No tag titles.
Tag titles, tag team championships. La Rebellion.
FTR.
I wouldn't be surprised if FTR. They have every other belt.
Yeah, they have every single championship belt. It's like that's it.
It's a tag team made up of Mecha Wolf 450 and Bestia 666.
That is their actual names. They have numbers in their names, their ring names.
Yeah, like this one's. I'll just read the one. Leonardo. It's not Leonardo. There's an R in front of the end. Leonardo Carrera is a Mexican luchador, a professional wrestler, better known by their in-ring name Bestia 666.
Wow.
And the other guy is Mecha Wolf 450. Yeah.
I'm
Triple H
sorry.
better start
there's
rethinking that, Triple H. Start rethinking that deal.
Trevor
Mecha-
Murdoch is the champion. Like the champion. The world
Mecha
champion.
Wolf 450. Wow. What? Did he pick a name out of a hat? Did he have his kid pick his name? Because, wow.
Dave, next show you got to come on is Mecha Wolf 450 or whatever.
Mecha Wolf 450. I want to look. I want to know what this guy looks like.
No. We are going to take a look at what Trevor Murdoch currently looks like.
You're gonna post it. You're gonna put it up.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay, Mecha Wolf 450 doesn't look bad, but like, that's such a name.
Are you ready for this?
I'm dying to see
Let's
it.
do it. Let's see the NWA World Champion.
This is their. By the way, yeah, this is their world champion.
Oh boy. Boy, he's definitely Trevor Murdoch, all right.
They're going, I guess, the Dusty route.
That's
I
horrible,
mean-
baby.
Wow, he looks so much worse than I expected.
It's a rough. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Their
I
roster
kind
must
of
be
want to see
thin.
if how he works in the ring now.
So that roster must be pretty thin, and I don't mean that because he's fat. I mean that because he's that he's the fucking champion.
He's a two time. This is the second time he won it.
He must be over. He must be cutting
I
these
guess
promos
so.
that are like outdoing his in ring
There's
work.
no way. What Trevor Murdoch with promos?
Jesus.
It must be. Maybe Vince didn't see the true potential.
Yeah,
Trevor
the
Murdoch.
Trevor Murdoch. Listen, it's 12:15. I said I would hold this to an hour and 15 minutes. You bastards, 3 hours. This is almost like the Marvel show that you did to me
Oh
back
my
in the day.
god, that was like 8 hours.
All right, let's wrap it up here and go round robin here. Any final thoughts here? We've talked about a shit ton of things tonight. Any final thoughts here, Timmy? Timmy.
No,
All right.
I'm good. I think we said enough in 3 hours. I'm done.
I even moved myself down here for the wrestling. There we
Yeah.
go. I'm back.
He's
My
back up
hand was
top.
starting to shake.
Starting to have that switch.
Dave, Dave, what do you got?
John should have kept Gino.
Cut him off.
And
Cut him off.
and Crown Jewel, 12 p.m. Saturday. Don't you guys forget.
Yep. Head to the website. Got a few, small movies that we're giving away things for, like the Black Panther, Wakanda
Small-
Forever, tiny little guys. In Phoenix, we have a sweepstakes going out for the movie The Menu. She Said is coming. I think I posted something for that today. That is, of course, the story about how Hollywood was not so good to people, and specifically Harvey Weinstein. So that's there. New on Netflix, new on all that good stuff is coming up here. And there was one other thing. One other thing that I did want to say. I saw it like the middle of last week. I guess she was announcing the third season of Dead to Me, or she was talking about it. But Christina Applegate, I don't know if you guys saw, like a year ago. First of all, she went through breast cancer. She dealt with all that. Now she's dealing with MS, and now she's at like an advanced stage of that, and she can't walk anymore.
What?
She needs to use the walking sticks, and so it must have been the premiere, I guess, of
Christina
Dead to Me.
Applegate.
Wow.
Yeah.
And wow, and to not to shun everyone's parade, but Shannon Doherty also began saying goodbye to her family. So we're gonna lose two of those fucking women icons from our childhood. Wow.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
that,
not
that
saying because I'm
that's
gonna
exactly
die,
why.
but she's
Yeah,
fucked up.
but
Shannon
that's why I
Doherty's gonna
mentioned.
die.
Yes. But that's why I went to Applegate, because that's like, Married with Children. That's when that's when we all kind of like, oh, who's this? But yeah, so she's got Emma, and she's got she's being a good sport. Obviously, she's talking about the design of her walking sticks, and that she went to a bedazzled look for a certain event. She said she doesn't need to hear about it, doesn't need to talk about it. She's like, I know I have MS. I know the situation. You don't have to ask me how I am. That kind of thing. But it's sad to see, somebody like that, somebody like anybody, and anybody, but from our childhood, not so much Dave, but from our childhood,
I grew up watching Married with
I
Children.
know, to now fast forward to now that she's got this debilitating thing, and she, after fighting off cancer, like how much do some people in this world have to deal with, um
It's cruel.
so yeah, so watch Dead to Me. I don't know, you guys watched the first couple of seasons. The first season was good, second season was okay, but
I've enjoyed them. I thought it had
yeah,
like good little twist to it.
yeah, well, the first season for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it kept you
So
wanting to watch like what's gonna happen in season two, and then
yes.
season two has like that. I want to obviously spoil it, like that
Mhm.
call back to one of what happened. So
What really?
I
Yeah.
thought it was
Yep.
good.
Yeah, definitely, and
So
that'll.
has
I
she
think that's
said that
mid-November.
is acting like, is she done, or is she gonna?
She didn't say anything about acting. This series is done. This is the last season. It was always going to be the last season.
Yeah, yeah.
They were all going to do 3 seasons, but she didn't say anything about that. It was more of her just like saying, "Hey, I'm back on took some time off social media, and now I have these sticks, these walking sticks, basically. Um,
So crazy.
yeah, so a lot of good Christmas stuff coming up. Some nice Christmas movies coming up on Netflix to get you into the spirit of things. Lindsay
Lindsay
Lohan, baby,
Lohan, back
Lindsay
at it,
Lohan.
baby.
All right, but I say all that to go to the website, subscribe, YouTube, sign up for the emails on the website, so you get up to the minute updates on all the shows, on all the stuff that's going on the small screen, the big screen, and of course on most fields imaginable. Pickleball soon. So that'll do it for this elongated 3-hour marathon of unsportsmanlike conduct. And we will talk to you guys next week. I'll keep you updated, of course, in the group. But until then, peace out, everybody. Peace.